What up, sports fans all over the world? It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan. I got my guys with me, the four horsemen of YouTube, Zion Zenith, Adam Costas, NYG Jeffy T85. This is the Premium Takes Podcast. Let's go! Good evening, everyone. Just welcome you to a special edition of the Premium Takes Podcast, a Wrestlemania special edition. We're going to break down the card, preview it, break down all the matches a little bit, man, and just going to talk about it. Horsemen talking about a little bit of wrestling tonight, man. It's all about the WWE. It's all about WrestleMania 39 tonight. Right now, I'm going to just kick it away to the host tonight, Zion Zenith. Be moving us through the show, navigating through the categories, through the matches for us. Let's go, Zion. Take it away, bro.
Let's get it. Thank you guys all for joining us. Thank you, Mac, for that great intro. This is going to be the sixth time that WWE has entered WrestleMania in Hollywood, so WrestleMania goes Hollywood again for the sixth time. It is WrestleMania 39. Without further ado, let's get into it. We got the first match of the night. We got the United States Championship on the line. We got newcomer, fan favorite, Austin Theory, going against, some would say, a legend of the sport, John Cena. Let's get into it. What you guys thoughts about this match? Who do you guys have?
Well, clear as day. I'm going with Austin Theory. Austin Theory has got to win this match, and I love the way that they have booked Austin Theory since they got that briefcase off of him. No matter what you think, no matter how they did it, the way they have booked this kid, and especially that empty arena promo that he did this past Monday Night Raw to make this kid look like the true future of this company. And a lot of people have said he is a lot like what John Cena was like when John Cena first burst on the scene all the way back in 2002 and 2003. Remember Ruthless Aggression? Slapped Kurt Angle in the face, and then he came out as the Doctor of Thugonomics. You can't see me. And then he started that all up. A lot of parallels between these two guys. I think this match is going to be very underrated. I don't know if it's going to be like a show stealer. I doubt it. But Austin Theory is definitely going to win this match. And John Cena, it's always good to have a legend like John Cena on the program, going out there, kicking off a big match like this to begin WrestleMania weekend. But it's going to help elevate Austin Theory to the next level. So I'm going with Mr. A-Town Down, Austin Theory, to take this one, opening and kicking off WrestleMania 39. What up, No Mets?
Absolutely couldn't agree more. Austin Theory there's no reason to put the United States title on John Cena. Obviously, he is not a full-time talent. By no means. It just wouldn't make any sense. Austin Theory right now is just climbing the ranks, man. This is what the beauty of Triple H taking over was. Vince McMahon was ruining Austin Theory, man. He was shooting this kid straight to the moon way too fast, way too quickly. He gave him that money in the bank, briefcase. Triple H came in and resolved all of that. He fixed all of that. Took that briefcase off of Austin Theory, and he's letting Austin Theory build the right way, the proper way. He's been on an amazing United States title run right now, and it's definitely not going to end here on Saturday against John Cena. As a matter of fact, this is the match that's going to propel Austin Theory up into the ranks, man. Up into he's going to carry that title probably definitely into at least SummerSlam or so, and then we'll get him ready for maybe that next step into the world title picture, But right now, Austin Theory is absolutely one of the best young talents in the company, and there's no reason in the world that he's going to lose his title to John Cena tomorrow night. And this is a great match and a great way to kick off WrestleMania Night 1. Absolutely a great way to kick it off with Austin Theory against absolute WWE legend John Cena. And there's no reason to take this title off of Austin Theory. He has answered the bell every time. Every time he gets everybody you put in front of him, he's found a way to get over that hump. Great showing at Elimination Chamber. And now this is another step, another level up for Austin Theory, man. He's going to definitely win this match tomorrow night against John Cena, and it's a great way to kick off the show.
Couldn't have said
what you got,
anything
Adam?
better than. I couldn't have said much more than what you guys already have said, but great job by both of you guys setting the tone. And here's where I'm going to go. Usually when you put a guy in like John Cena with a young buck like Austin Theory, it's a pass as a torch match. Kind of, in this case, Cena's not really holding a torch, but he is one of the guys that if you want to propel yourself to the next level and be taken seriously, John Cena is going to give you a full match. He's not going to give you a half-ass match. He's going to make this kid look like him, the next John Cena. He's got the same build, kind of the same haircut, and the same kind of charisma. Now, I think he should stay a bad guy for a while. I think he's a better bad guy than John Cena ever was. I think John Cena was a solid bad guy, but not the way that Austin Theory was. And let's see how that'll translate when they propel him into the next level. I like where they're going to go with this. I think Austin Theory, like you said, was a little bit slingshotted to the top, but I did like the fact that he got the title shot. I don't think they booked him correctly, and that's what killed him, is because they didn't allow him to. He was the United States champion, lost it, ended up winning the Money in the Bank title, and now you're like, well, you just got thrust in there without earning really a real shot. And he was more of an annoying character than he is now. Now you're like, oh wow, you're kind of legit on the mic. Right now, you got the look. You're building up a good status. Let's see how you do it. Once he beats John Cena, that's one of those things you can put on your resume for a while. I know that this is fake, type of sport, but that goes a long way in what people think about you.
Absolutely. Well said, all three of you guys. Let's move on to the next match of the night. We got two legends of the sport in Trish Stratus and Lita coming back with the man Becky Lynch taking on Damage Control in Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Let's start off with Adam and pass it over to Jeff. Adam, what's your thoughts on this match?
Well, I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because I've never seen them really put a title on a legend like this, and I've always wanted legends to come back and get titles, right? There's no point in you coming back for a run and just being here. Like, Edge, to me, deserves to get a title shot. He's been there. He's not as sporadic as certain things. So I thought it was surprising that Lita got one. Now, I don't know what Trish Stratus is going to do. Three people, Hall of Fame class. I don't think they're going to lose that title with her in the corner, but we could see a swerve. As for Damage Control, they're boring. I've seen enough. I like Bayley and everything, but it's like they don't do enough with this faction. They've been stuck in this kind of same opponent rut now. I mean, it culminates at WrestleMania. Do we really think they're going to win? I don't.
You want me to be dead honest? I think Damage Control sucks. I've not liked Damage Control from the beginning. I think they're terrible. I think they're awful. I don't like this group. I don't like the way they've constructed this group. They're boring as hell. The crowd does not care about it. And the sad part is I like every single one of these individual wrestlers. I think that Io Sky is one of the best wrestlers in that damn company in the women's division. Bayley has gone from a couple of years ago, one of the best women's wrestlers in that company. Now, she's like as irrelevant as can be. Ding dong, goodbye. That's how I feel about Bayley right now. And then, you look at Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai feels like a jobber right now to me. And she's a lot better compared to what she did in NXT. And, do we really need to be giving Trish Stratus this type of role and give the titles to Becky Lynch and Lita? Is this really help forwarding your women's division by giving two veterans the championships? I know it might try to help the young people, but I don't like the way they booked this group. I don't like the way they booked this whole entire angle going forward. I think it sucks. And honestly, what I think is going to happen, Trish Stratus is going to turn heel during the matchup. She's going to start a feud with Becky Lynch. That's been the rumors that have been going out there. She's going to cost Lita, Becky the matchup. She's going to turn heel, lead up to a match at SummerSlam. Damage Control is going to get a win. Who really gives a crap? I think the match will be okay, but the build itself, and I've got to be honest, has sucked. I have not been excited about this entire feud at all, and I've had to watch this crap every single Monday Night Raw. And this group is so damn irrelevant, and it pains my soul because I like Bayley a lot. I've always been a fan of Io, and Dakota's not that bad at all. They need to break this group up. I'll be honest, they got to break this group up. It's not working. Triple H, I appreciate you trying hard to get this group to try to get them over. And please, these women's tag titles, They're irrelevant right now. Who cares about them? I'd rather see a mid-card women's title than tag titles.
Unify the titles.
Yeah,
that would make it better.
There haven't been a women's title tag team that has been relevant since Sasha and Bayley were champions, all the way during the pandemic thing. But Mac, go ahead.
Well, I mean, this match is the only thing good about this match is the fact of the talent that's actually participating in the match. I mean, this is six very, very good professionals participating in this match. Becky Lynch, Lita, Trish Stratus, they're Hall of Famers, they're legends. Damage Control, as you said, as individuals, they're all very talented young ladies. The problem is, man, I was on the show with DJ Storms last night, and he said the best. Shout out to DJ Storms, one of the absolute best wrestling content creators on YouTube. But he said it best, man, that Damage Control they're damaged. This is probably Triple H's biggest failure since he's taken over. This is it right here. He has, I mean, just done nothing with this great group of ladies, man. These are very talented individual wrestlers, man. And the fact that you weren't able to figure out a way to make this work is just absolutely crazy to me. Damage Control is just damaged goods at this point. Cut the cord already. I honestly believe it. Honestly believe that it could end as early as like Monday night, because I don't know if you've been paying attention to the last couple of weeks, but Bayley's been getting a lot of side eye from EO and Dakota Kai with some of the some of her little rash decisions she's been making for the group. So she's been getting a lot of side eye. That usually leads up to a separation sooner or later. They didn't need to make that sooner.
So let me ask you this then. So you're saying that they're bad, right? But now we think maybe are they just running stale, and this is the time to break them up? Because when they first came out, they weren't terrible. You were like, oh, great, they're getting these three girls some exposure. They won the titles, right? And then after they lost the titles, they became irrelevant. So do you think it's just they're being stale, or do you think
the crowd just doesn't care about them? The crowd, when they come out, there's no reaction. They're not giving these women any reason for the crowd to care. The build has just been lackluster. And honestly, they haven't been doing anything relevant with those tag team titles. They only defended it maybe once or twice. They gave the titles to Aaliyah. They had Damage Control lose the tag titles to Aaliyah. Have you seen Aaliyah wrestle? She has no business being a wrestler. I'm sorry. She should not be carrying a tag title. And the second they lost those titles, and they won them right back, and then they lost them, and then they won them back again, and then they lost them. It's like hot potato with the tag titles, and that's what really killed Damage Control too. I mean, there's just no relevancy with this whole group, and it's a shame. I would turn Io Sky babyface and give this woman an opportunity to go out there and let the crowd get behind her. She is the next Asuka. That's how good Io Sky is. I don't know what you do with Dakota. She's the one I worry about the most, because I think that she's sort of like, I don't know if the crowd's going to get into her as much because of her look. Io's tremendously talented. I think she could get over. Bayley, I think, needs to turn babyface too. I don't think the heel thing is going as well. I think if you could get Bayley back as a babyface, you can maybe get her back over. But it's just not worked. Besides Karrion Kross, which has been a disaster over on SmackDown, this is probably the biggest failure that Triple H, like you mentioned before, has had. Kross has been a disaster too.
No, it's all about booking. It's all about the booking with these women. Like I said, it's just about the booking. It's not the talent. They all have the talent. They're all amongst the most talented ladies, including Dakota Kai. They're very, very talented. These are talented ladies. You just got to book them the right way. Get them. I mean, you could even Dakota Kai is a great women tag team wrestler. Actually, that's what she is more known for anyway, as more than the solo stuff. So there's other avenues for her. I mean, you got Tegan Knox. You brought Tegan Knox back. You can have a team kick reunion. You know,
put her back with Raquel Rodriguez.
There's a lot of different things that you can do with Dakota Kai. A lot of different things you can do with her. There's plenty you can do with Io Sky. We already know what the kind of star that Io Sky can be. You already know the kind of star that Bayley can be. It's just that it's just been booked very, very poorly. But the entire women's division is booked very, very poorly. Yeah. So it's just they're just victims of it, and it's unfortunate. But I don't know. I see Becky Lynch leading and Trish winning this match, and that's all I got to say about it, man. It's one of those matches.
Why don't you put her back with Raquel Rodriguez? You saw the success that Dakota and Raquel had in NXT. They were great.
Yeah, I'm okay. It was okay. That was fine. But at the same time, I don't want to see Raquel Rodriguez in a tag team situation. I think I want to see her as a badass woman that she is, be that badass and start getting that push towards the women's championship, SmackDown or Raw title. You know, at the same, I don't want to see her lumped in some tag because I don't really buy her as a true tag team wrestler. Like I was saying, Dakota Kai is truly a tag team wrestler, and like I said, you got her partner in crime, one of her absolute best friends in real life, Knox, part of the company. I mean, like I said, we all know about the breakup a few years ago at NXT War Games with Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai, but at the end of the day, just like Sammy and KO, you can reunite these women and bring Team Kickback and start trying to truly build your women's tag team division back up. It's just women are just booked poorly in WWE, and it's unfortunate. But they're right now victims of just poor booking. It's not the talent of the women, it's the booking. It's the way they've been booked, and it's been a failure. They need to just cut the cord on it.
Absolutely, and we can open up a whole can of worms. We can get into that another time on Premium Takes. Well, let's move on. We got Braun Strowman and Ricochet. That kind of reminds me of like your Big Show and Rey Mysterio tag team back in the day. Well, it looks like a 4-team tag team fatal four-way. It looks like here we got Ricochet and Braun Strowman versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus Viking Raiders. Let's start with Mac and then pass it over to Adam.
Well, this is another one of those matches where, okay, once again, talking with my guy, DJ Storms. Once again, shout out DJ Storms, man. God does great work. But talking with him about this match in particular, it's like we were talking about WrestleMania in general being more condensed down to just one night, one badass night of wrestling, you know, get like 7 or 8 badass matches, you know, because WrestleMania is supposed to be the show of shows. Now, this match will probably be really good because, once again, you got a lot of talent in this match. But is it really a WrestleMania match? Not really. It's kind of just thrown in there. It wasn't like there was any booking for it. It's just one of those things. We want to make some extra matches and pad the card. So you got this fatal four-way on night one with Braun Strowman and Ricochet, Street Profits, and the Viking Raiders. Maybe it'll lead to whoever wins will get a tag team title shot down the line. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. But at the end of the day, I mean, it'll probably be an entertaining match, but who really gives a damn that much about it? You know, it's not really like one of the ones people are just, oh, I can't wait to see that match tomorrow night, you know, on WrestleMania night one. This fatal four-way tag match that has really nothing on the line. It's just a match. It's just a match we just threw in there. But at the end of the day, I think there's potentially. I think I would give this match to the Viking Raiders. I think the Viking Raiders, especially if a title shot is going to be, you know, something they get down the line. I would love to see the Viking Raiders pull this W out. I mean, Ricochet and Braun Strowman, they're growing on me as a team, but it's still kind of just weird for me to watch them. They're so different that it's kind of weird. Even though they're making it work, it takes a little while for them to grow on me. Street Profits been there, done that. They've had the Raw tag titles. They've had the SmackDown tag titles. They've had the NXT tag team titles. They've had their time at the top of the tag team division. You know, it's time to get the Viking Raiders, a team you brought back. You brought Eric's wife back with him, Valhalla. You know, it's time to step these guys up, man, and get this tag team division really cracking, man. That's gonna. I think the Viking Raiders should get the job done here. But it'll probably be a very entertaining match. But is it really truly a WrestleMania match, WrestleMania-worthy match? Do we need this on a WrestleMania card? Probably not. But it'll probably be an entertaining match just because of the talent in the match.
No, like you said, it's going to be it's a filler match. That's what it is. I don't think it's WrestleMania-worthy. If it were for the tag team titles, like let's say they took one of the straps off of the Usos, then it would have been a little bit more compelling. Right now, you're throwing together a bunch of guys. Alpha Academy is starting to build something. They had something, but now they're starting to get in the forefront and shoes and all that stuff. The Viking Raiders, I think, is the one they want to push. I like the Street Profits, but it's like either you're going to break the Street Profits up or you're not. Make a decision, because it feels like they're trying to push Montez forward and then he didn't do anything, and then they're trying to push Dawkins and he didn't do anything, and now they're kind of in a rut. And those guys deserve to be tag team title holders. Now, again, they've had their time. They've were tag team title holders. The guys that need to really win this match are the Viking Raiders. No doubt about it. Like Braun Strowman, Ricochet, you're going to have your time. You're going to have your time. You will be in matches involved. But we need to do something finally. We need to bring back the tag team wrestling. Okay, I feel like that's a lost art in the modern day of the WWE. AEW has some good tag teams. They really have a decent division out there. They don't. We just put people together, and that's what WWE does. But sometimes you just need to have a tag, like guys come up together, and make a great tag team. Like the Usos, they're like a dying breed. You don't really see that much anymore. You know what I mean? The New Day, they've won so many times. You're like, damn. Well, let's come up with something new. So then what do? They put these hodgepodges together. Let's get a team like the Viking Raiders or even the Street Profits or Alpha Academy. Let's get them to win, whether it's this match or the next match, because we need title holders. We need competition. We need to keep this division alive. It's what helps build wrestling. It built the careers of Bret Hart, HBK, the Hardy Boys, a ton of Edge and Christian. I mean, a ton of guys were built from tag team division, but they were good team. They were a good team together first, and we need teams again.
I mean, the whole reason why all these people are even on the card, because the fact that they want to get more people on the card so they can have their WrestleMania moment. And I mean, I would have liked to see that whoever wins this matchup gets at least a future tag team title shot, like you guys mentioned. I think the match, I prefer this a hell of a lot more than the women's one, because I think this men's one has a lot more talent that's worth watching. I mean, Braun Strowman and Ricochet have been a solid tag team overall. Viking Raiders are great. Alpha Academy is great. And then Street Profits, I mean, I think they've gotten better over this past year. It's just there's been a lot of directionless booking with a lot of these tag teams. I mean, look what they're doing with the Alpha Academy. It looks like they're going to be having Chad Gable going on his own, and they're putting Otis with the freaking Maximum Male models, which I don't know why they're thinking about doing that, but I guess they see something in Gable. They want to give him an opportunity to go solo.
They just want to make a comedic relief, probably.
Oh, yeah, because that's what they probably think
of. Vince McMahon aspect. He always feels the need to have some little hokey, gimmicky thing like that. That's when
like
you
3MB.
know Vince McMahon is involved.
Yeah.
When we see things like that. I mean, Otis is another one that's just he's pretty. He's talented. He's talented.
Great.
He's a talented big man in the ring, powerhouse, and then you want to put him in this hokey little stupid storyline with the Maximum Male model.
He can't get out of it. He was with what was his first tag team they came up with?
Heavy Machinery, which was great.
Great name, but they had him doing the worm and stuff as his finish.
He was great. He was awesome in the ring, and he had that goofy character that connected so well with the crowd.
But once they broke that up,
because they broke him away from Tucker too early. When the team was actually starting to get momentum, they broke him away too early.
Didn't Tucker?
No, I think they just broke him away because they didn't think that Tucker was going to
get
fired.
Over.
Yeah, Tucker got fired.
He was a cancer in the locker room, apparently.
Yeah. And they broke him Otis away, and they put him with Mandy Rose, and then they had the whole Mandy Rose and Otis thing, and then Vince McMahon decided, hey, let me give Otis the damn briefcase. And we saw how that went. He dropped the damn briefcase later on to Miz, who then dropped it later to Bobby Lashley. So, I mean, who I think deserves to win this match?
Legs, girl.
Who deserves to win this match?
Hello, Mac.
Yeah, hello, Mac. It's like Coach Ed is here. It's like who's
Stacey Keebler, man, them legs, man.
Oh, the MVP,
Hall of Fame?
The Hall of Fame. Yeah, she just got inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I'm missing Stacey Keebler. Oh,
she's not a Hall of Famer, by the way, but we know why she's there. But I'm going with the Viking Raiders. Raiders are going to win this. They're going to win this match.
All of our teen minds, okay.
Well, for our teen minds, yes. If we're going by wrestling credentials, there's no way in hell she deserves anywhere near a Hall of Fame.
Yes, but she was part of the Attitude Era, Jeff. Okay.
I mean, she did some good things as a valet. I think that's more. She's getting more than merit of her valet.
Yes, but she deserves it. She was in that. She's a very iconic woman.
Like Tori Wilson was, yeah.
Matches that she used to be in.
Yeah,
I mean, yes,
Tori Wilson were a big part of that era.
We can't forget about those ring entrances. That being said, we're gonna move on to
I'm going with the Viking Raiders too.
Two great, I would say superstars in their own right? Global superstars in their own right. We got Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. Let's start with Jeff and then pass it over to Matt.
I think this is going to be one of those matches that could potentially steal the entire weekend. I mean, Seth Rollins' gimmick, it's easily one of the best things in WWE right now. I love when Seth Rollins comes out, he's got the crowd in the palm of his hands when you start hearing that music. It is so damn good when Seth Rollins is coming out. You hear the whole crowd just singing his theme song. Seth Rollins with all those goofy-ass outfits, just embracing all the love from everybody. Logan Paul is such a great heel, and the way he's able to generate heat, because everybody hates Logan Paul, is so good. So we saw what Logan Paul has done in the couple of matchups that he's been in, including with The Miz at SummerSlam, and then what he did against Roman. Logan Paul could go in the ring. He's probably the best celebrity that has ever, been involved in the wrestling ring. You could say maybe Pat McAfee too, but Logan Paul can go in the ring. We know how good Seth is. I think this match is going to be tremendous. And if I had to pick, I got to go with Seth because of the fact that Seth's been more on the losing end as of late. Logan Paul doesn't really need the win. There's rumors going around there that his contract might be expiring after WrestleMania 39. So I think that Seth's got to win. You got to start getting Seth back on the winning road and maybe eventually leading him up to a championship or something because Seth's too damn good. He's got to be involved in that title match somehow. He's literally one of the best things on that show and on WWE right now. So I'm going with Seth.
This match has had a really solid build, really incredible build. It's been strong. Like they built like stuff at the Elimination Chamber. But Logan Paul has been absolutely getting the best of Seth Rollins throughout these last few weeks with the build, a couple knockouts, sucker punch knockouts, and I think Logan Paul has been absolutely one of the top celebrities to ever step foot in the ring by far. If not, matter of fact, you can probably make a case that he absolutely is the best. I mean, you got him, like you said, Pat McAfee, Bad Bunny. After that, any other celebrity appearance has been kind of just hokey and really overly gimmicky. But those guys right there have actually gotten the ring and look like they were seasoned vets, So I think that right now, the way this match has been built up, Logan Paul has been kind of embarrassing Seth a lot, getting the best of him. And here at WrestleMania on this grand stage, man, Seth Rollins is going to finally, it's going to all come back, full circle. Seth Rollins is going to definitely get the job done here. I can't wait to hear Seth Rollins step out into that SoFi Stadium tomorrow night and just hear the crowd just go absolutely nuts, chanting, singing along his song. Man, it's going to be explosive. It's going to be a great match. I think Logan Paul is really, I'm not a big fan of Logan Paul just in general, I've never been like, I listen to the Logan Paul podcast. I'm not a fan of his in that regard, but I'd respect the talent that he's demonstrated in the ring, man. That match at Crown Jewel against Roman Reigns, that right there, man, that's respect right there. He went against the undisputed champion and went toe to toe with that man. And just the Royal Rumble with him and Ricochet, I can't get that out of my mind.
My God.
I can't even get that out of my mind ever if I try. So, props to Logan Paul, the great things he's done. I think he's setting himself up to be to be a celebrity, one of those celebrities that's going to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in the next couple of years or so. And I think this will be a great match on night one. Could absolutely stunt you. I think Seth Rollins going to get the W. Tell him about it, Adam.
I think it's going to be a show stealer. I think there's two types of athletes that normally do ridiculous things in the ring. I am loving Seth Rollins' character right now. I think he's the macho man of this era. I really do. Outside of the voice, he's got all the act. He got the laugh down. He's got great cuts, great promos. I mean, he is the it guy, and he does legitimately need a title. I was a little sad that they did not give him the USA title because I thought he would have held it, and it would have been a good match for Austin Theory to build himself up to with a guy that's relevant outside of John Cena. John Cena is relevant, but Seth Rollins is the guy. He's going to the Hall of Fame. You might as well put him in Canton. He's done things that people can only imagine, and he gets dogged in this company every week because he's not in title pictures. he's dealing with celebrities like Logan Paul, who, by the way, I don't mind Logan Paul. Logan Paul's been in pop culture for a long time now. He was a YouTube sensation, playing video games and crap, and then he built his way up into the enterprise that he is now, right? I think he's a better talker than his brother. I think this is a career he may want to choose. He may not. I mean, when you make money on a podcast, you don't really want to travel all that much. So I don't blame him if he decides not to do this. But he's one of those guys that if he's young enough where he can come back in a few years and have another, spot with somebody else. So I agree with you guys. I think he's the best out of the celebrities the last few years. I mean, Bad Bunny was like sneakily like, wow, I didn't know you could do a frog splash. But at the end of the day, you're like, this guy doesn't belong in wrestling, right? Logan Paul, you're like, man, if he was not doing a podcast, you could honestly put him in there every week and he could draw fans. He might be a next champion. That's how good Logan Paul is. And I think this is the match. If we're talking about show stealing, I wouldn't be surprised. We talk about Mr. WrestleMania. Seth Rollins is Mr. WrestleMania of his era, right? He is the Shawn Michaels of his era, right? Macho Man, Shawn Michaels, whoever you want to call him, he's that guy. Now you put a guy like Logan Paul who does things that he did against Ricochet in a match with this guy. I can't wait to see some high-flying spots, something that I probably haven't seen before. It's going to be a fantastic match.
Do you guys think that there's any way possible we could get a Jake Paul sighting during this matchup, that he could be a surprise to be in his brother's corner to maybe help screw over Seth?
I don't know, but that would make a good tag team at some point. To bring the Paul brothers out and making them a tag team celebrity title holder, because that's what I can think happened, right? They'll say, you know what, you can do your podcast and you could be a spot wrestler and come in. Like, they can do a lot of things with this guy. He's athletic enough, and hello, he's a freak. Didn't he just have a knee injury?
Yeah, he messed up his knee during that match at Crown Jewel against Roman. Thought it was an ACL injury, and he was able to make it back by the Rumble. Like,
that's insane. That's 3 months.
Mm-hmm. He's got like that John Cena healing powers or something.
Oh, you mean steroids? I mean, But anyway, that's all I have to say about that.
PG it up a little bit. Yeah.
I think part of it was to why he is probably the like you guys said, one of the best celebrities to do it is him and Jake was big time wrestlers back in Ohio back in the high school days. So that's probably a big influence on it. And we all know that wrestling in high school, wrestling in general, is one of the most toughest sports there is out there. Let's get into some family drama we got going on here. We got Rey Mysterio, legend, taking on Dominic Mysterio. Let's start with, I believe, Adam, and then pass it over to Jeff.
Great. I get to start out with the shittiest match of one of the most intriguing storylines. I don't think Dominic Mysterio is ready as a wrestler. That's just me. I don't think he has the physique or the build for it. I think he's okay on the mic with Rhea Ripley as his counterpart. By himself, he's doing all right. Rey Mysterio has deserved this. I don't know what's going to happen because Rey is going to the Hall of Fame. And he may want to put over his son, and say, hey, listen, this is your moment, have your moment. But we all want to see him kick Dominic Mysterio's ass. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does that. I'm not really thrilled either way. Nothing. I mean, I'm going to watch it just because it's Rey Mysterio. It's probably his last match we'll see him do, regardless of win or loss. So that's why I'll watch it. But other than that, Dominic Mysterio does nothing for me. And Rey, great career. Thank you for the memories. You were the smallest world heavyweight champion in the world back in the day. And, I just admire your career. So
I've actually enjoyed every single second of this entire feud between Dominic and Rey. I think it's been one of the best storylines that WWE's had behind the bloodline. Just the little teases they've been going back and forth, the little vignettes and skits they've been doing with Dominic showing up at Thanksgiving and then Christmas and New Year's and everything, getting arrested. The whole him being arrested and being in jail thing, I don't know why. It's so stupid. It's actually a little amusing. I think Dominic's character has really been very enjoyable to watch, along with Rhea Ripley. The dynamic between the two of them, Mommy, I think it's been so good. And then Rey Mysterio, he's played it off so perfectly. Just saying the entire time, I want nothing to do. I'm not going to hit my son. I'm not going to wrestle my son. And then eventually, him going face to face with his mother. I've loved everything about this feud. the whole way they built it, and even try to like somewhat put it on the back shelf, but at the same time still keep it relevant in people's minds until they got Dominic to go back on SmackDown. The match itself, I mean, Dominic's not the greatest wrestler in the ring, and I actually don't believe that Ray's done. I think Ray's still going to be wrestling even after WrestleMania 39, even though he's getting inducted in the Hall of Fame. Though I do believe that Dominic is probably going to get up the victory either way. But here's one of the most interesting things. Is Legado del Fantasma going to get involved in this match? Because you see the little alliance that Rey Mysterio has been building with Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and Cruz del Toro. And, of course, you got Damian Priest, who could eventually get involved, not only with this match with Dominic, but also obviously in the Hell in the Cell match. So you could have that little dynamic that could build into this whole entire match as well. So I think that Dominic is going to end up winning it, but I've actually enjoyed this entire feud. But yeah, Dominic's got to win the match. It's better to have him go over his father. But I don't think Ray's
Priest the only one not fighting anybody at WrestleMania. Like all the
I don't think he has a match at WrestleMania.
Bobby Lashley, let's go.
I'm sure Priest will be very much involved in this match. But at the same time, this match has had an absolute captivating build to it, man. This is storytelling 101 at its absolutely best, man. This Dominic Mysterio, how do you guys feel about him? I get it. He's still not quite that seasoned yet, but since he's joined Judgment Day, this dude is at top heel status. Nobody gets booed out of an arena like Dominic Mysterio does when he grabs that microphone. No one gets booed out of the arena like he does. And I'm talking about it's captivating to watch, and that's what you're talking about. Like, you want some kind of reaction from that crowd, and he gets it every single time now. When he comes out and steps into the arena, he's getting booed out of every building he steps in, and that's absolutely just tells you about what it means, what it's meant to Dominic Mysterio's career to be able to join Judgment Day and really move his career along. His father is going into the Hall of Fame, as we all know, and I don't think it's going to be his last match tomorrow night, but I think it's going to be the beginning of the end for him, as he's going to, wean his way out of his, through the rest of his career, and he's going to spend these last few months or so that he may spend with his career getting his son completely over. And I think it starts at WrestleMania tomorrow night. I think Dominic wins this match. It'll probably be a lot of help from like Damian Priest, however it goes down. But Rey Mysterio is absolutely doing this match to get his son over and pass that torch to his son, and let Dominic carry on that Mysterio name, forever long he can do it. I think it's absolutely it's going to be a better match than people expect, because I just think it's going to be captivating just watching this story start to kind of get to its climax. Not sure exactly when it's going to finally all come to its end. Maybe at SummerSlam or something like that. You get to that finally where you can finally have that last stand with Dominic and his father. But Ray is definitely here, is taking this match to get his son over and begin to pass that torch, as he knows he's getting ready to step down and his son has so much more career left. Like I said, Dominic is at top heel status right now. You got to take the opportunity properly and have him win this match and begin the process of getting over in the ring, because he's already over as far as on the mic right now. Right now, just like I said, no one gets booed like Dominic Mysterio. Not even Roman Reigns, not even the Bloodline gets booed like Dominic Mysterio. No one gets booed like Dominic Mysterio right now. So it's that time for him to start to take that next step. Let Ray pass the torch to his son and move on with the Mysterio name can live on in WWE.
No, the only person that ever gets booed as much as he does is MJF. That's it. That's the only guy that, in my opinion, wrestling right now gets as much heat as Dominic Mysterio does. That's how every time, like you said, when he touches the mic, everybody is booing the hell out of Dominic. And that is an amazing, phenomenal transformation from where Dominic was literally before Clash of the Castle and where he is now. That is all the credit to Dominic Mysterio and the way he's been able to evolve his character. Edge too, but you got to give credit to Dominic as well for getting himself over too with the little, stupid mannerisms he's been doing.
What I mean by that is that Edge came together and saw these people through, right? And then, if if Edge doesn't start the Judgment Day, you don't get these guys. I think the guy in the Judgment Day that doesn't get enough credit is Damian Priest, but
Alex.
I like him a lot, but then Edge made it so these 4 superstars could grow, and I've seen every one of them blossom in their own way, and it's been fun to watch. They still have a little bit of a run as a heel. I think you need to put a couple titles on them to just make that faction a little stronger. I don't think the Demon. We'll get into the Demon match in a little bit, but I think Mysterio winning Dominic. I don't pick him, but you guys do. I think if he does win the match, it's going to elevate him a little bit and elevate the Judgment Day as well going forward.
Alrighty, well said, all of you guys. Let's move on to a singles championship match. I didn't even know she still has the title, but we got Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Let's start with Mac and then pass it over to Adam.
Well, the privileged one herself, the Queen Charlotte Flair, defending her title against Rhea Ripley. Look, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. Rhea Ripley has to win this match. I think it's definitely her time. I think she, after that Royal Rumble performance, you cannot deny her of this title match, this title right now. Charlotte Flair is the most privileged athlete in WWE, period. Point blank and period. She was on the show for months and months and months. Comes back on a random episode of SmackDown after Ronda Rousey was just already in an absolute dogfight with Raquel Rodriguez, and you put the title back on her in that way. Just walks in, steps in, and steps immediately back to the front of the line. I'm just over the Charlotte Flair nonsense. I'm over I get it. She does. I'm not going to sit here and deny that she doesn't work her tail off like anybody else, but at the same time,
right.
Her name is definitely been a lot of what's gotten her the things she's gotten, and all the stuff I hear about her in the back, politicking to be in the main event and all this craziness to be part of the main event. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of Charlotte Flair and all the privilege she gets, man. Rhea Ripley's got to win this, and WWE, it'll be a disappointment if Rhea Ripley doesn't walk out there tomorrow night as a SmackDown Women's Champion.
Well, Mac, I agree with you 110%. I am enjoying Rhea Ripley's character right now. I thought she was good when she was the women's title holder and lost it to Charlotte a few years ago, which I thought was bullshit because they wanted to bring her down a peg. And now I think Rhea Ripley is ready to take that torch. She's done a phenomenal job, like you said, with Dominic Mysterio. I think she's hot right now. If you're not going to put the title on a person like Ronda Rousey, this girl deserves it. All right, she already has a badass look. She already has a badass attitude. She has a great finishing move, and she can actually wrestle, and she's tough as fucking nails. Okay, the girl has had, her teeth kicked in and shit and all this stuff. The woman deserves this title. As for Charlotte Flair, I agree with you, Mac. Charlotte Flair is like Triple H back in the 2000s. They put the title on him just to put the title on him. They put the title on her just to put the title on her. It's kind of what I'm seeing with Roman Reigns right now. Although minus the politicking, it's just like I'm tired of seeing the same people win, and there's no rhyme or reason. Like you brought in Ronda Rousey to be this badass bitch. She beats the hell out of Rodriguez in a dogfight, and then you lose the title to Charlotte Flair. Then she now goes on to headline WrestleMania. Come on, now I think what WWE is doing, and I hope this is what they're doing, is giving Rhea Ripley that chance on the main stage at WrestleMania to get the title back, because I think she, if I'm not mistaken, lost the title to Charlotte Flair. I don't know once. I know she lost the women's title. I don't know if she lost the NXT title.
Women's title at WrestleMania 36.
So they're going to So they're going to get Rhea Ripley's revenge here on WrestleMania 39.
I'm going to say the positives.
Real quick before you go, Jeff. Real quick, Jeff, before you go, I just wanted to answer Alex's question. Real quick, ask what our favorite WWE superstar of all time is. He said his is Hulk Hogan. Alex, mine is Bret the Hitman Hart. Most definitely, that was always my guy when I was a kid. The Hitman, I just always loved him, man.
Do we have to pick one? Because The Undertaker is my all-time favorite, and then of course the other two that I put in there are Stone Cold and The Rock.
Austin 316 for me. He's the main reason why I got involved, why I started to fall in love with wrestling. Just his I don't give a shit attitude. It's what got me into the business in his feud with McMahon. So for me, it's Austin 316. But
what a great promo he cut, though. By the way, I recommend everybody go back and watch The Wrestling Legend and find out how he cut that against Jake the Snake. Is absolutely, probably one of the single best promos ever cut to make a person's career.
Exactly. But talk about Charlotte Flair. I'm going to talk about the positives with Charlotte Flair. She's a great wrestler.
What?
That's where the positives end for me.
What?
Because I am so sick and tired of Charlotte Flair. I really am. Becky Lynch is starting to slowly get into that realm too, because I'm getting sick of Becky Lynch too. I think her character's become cringe, but Charlotte, my God, does she have to be involved in a championship match every freaking time? And I swear, if I got to see that women's championship match main event night 1 over Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and the Usos, I'm done with Charlotte. Like I've already been done with her. But if they somehow politic their way to get that match to headline WrestleMania night 1, I'm done, because that match is no business. The build is sucked. I love what Rhea Ripley's doing. She's been great. Her character has been fantastic. To me, she's the best women's wrestler in that entire company right now. Her presentation has been great. Since she's joined the Judgment Day, there's been nobody that has been better than Rhea Ripley right now. And she has to 100%. To me, this is the biggest lock, in my opinion, that needs to happen at WrestleMania 39 in the entire weekend. Rhea Ripley has got to go over Charlotte Flair. There is no business, no rhyme, no reason why Charlotte needs to beat Rhea Ripley again. Are you going to stunt her growth again? Are you going to put her back down to the ground again? You already know, everybody, we all don't like Charlotte for obvious reasons, because you politic your way to the top, because your name is Charlotte, because your name is Flair. You need to be in a title match every time. Oh, and by the way, you know why she wants to be involved in the main event? Because she'd be the first woman ever to be involved in 2 WrestleMania main events, and no other woman has done that. That is probably why Bianca Belair was not involved in the main event, because she would have been the first woman ever, and we know Charlotte can't ever let anybody else do that but Charlotte. So I would not be shocked if she does find a way to politic her way into that matchup. But Rhea Ripley has been so good. Her character evolution has been so good. It took her 3 years after she lost that championship to Charlotte at WrestleMania 36. Her character was so dead. She needed 2.5, 3 years just to recover, and thankfully Edge and Judgment Day brought the Rhea Ripley out of her that we all thought she could be as a heel. And there's no rhyme and no reason and no business why Rhea Ripley needs to lose this match. Rhea's got to go over. Rhea's the SmackDown Women's Champion. That's it. No other discussion. They should not main event night 1 because the build has honestly sucked. There's been really nothing engaging about this feud at all built up this entire time. The other women's championship match has been as bad, but it's got to be Rhea. There's no reason why Charlotte has to win. I swear, if she wins, I might just put my headphones down and just walk away from the stream the rest of the night. That's how pissed off I'd be if Rhea Ripley loses this match. So Rhea's got to win. 100%. Lock it up. Throw away the key. Rhea is winning the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Alrighty, well said, all of you guys. Let's move into the main event of night 1 to wrap it up. Like Jeff said, hopefully it's
you
the
don't
main
know
event.
that yet.
Yeah, well,
hopefully we'll see.
I'm nervous because you know who is behind creative again. So
that being said, we got the tag team championships on the line. We got the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Let's go ahead with you, Jeff, and pass it over to Mac.
We all love storytelling in wrestling. It's one of the things that helps us get engaged and helps us fall in love with the sport of professional wrestling. And you want to talk about storytelling at its absolute finest, and easily the best story built has been this entire story with the Bloodline, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, you throw Roman in there. This has been so beautifully executed. Every single step and corner they've gone. They have turned Sami Zayn into easily one of the biggest baby faces, not only in WWE, but in professional wrestling. And they just threw him in this entire storyline as a comedy act. And look where it's taken him since. Just the whole chemistry. Sometimes, in wrestling, sometimes you get this once in like a lifetime storyline that just captivates the audience. That's exactly what this has been. I have loved everything about this storyline. There's nothing not to love. Sami Zayn is such an incredible babyface. Just the way the crowd resonates with this dude, gets behind him, and then the whole story with him and Kevin Owens that has been built up this whole time, from the War Games matchup all the way to Royal Rumble, which was easily one of the most excited I've ever heard a crowd. And then that Elimination Chamber crowd at Montreal. My God, I have not heard a reaction that loud for a wrestler since we heard Daniel Bryan all the way back in 2014 against the Authority. And then you have just the whole entire way this has been built up, just with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn reuniting and the Usos coming together. I know I'm going on a tangent, but I've just fallen in love with this storyline, and the storytelling has been so beautifully put together. And it's going to culminate with what is going to be one of the best moments in WrestleMania history, when Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are able to win the WWE Tag Team Championships, Universal Tag Team titles, from the Usos, who have had those titles for over a year and a half. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see. Nobody deserves it more than Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It's going to be a WrestleMania moment that we are going to be talking about for many years to come. The match is going to be fantastic. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as a duo are so good together. There's such great dynamic. Their chemistry is impeccable. Two best friends against two twin blood brothers. You couldn't ask for anything more of a dynamic than what you got in this match and what you got in this feud. And absolutely 100%, you're going to see new WWE Universal Tag Team Champions with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens finally taking down the Usos. And what a moment it's going to be to close out what should close out WrestleMania Night 1.
We're talking about one of the absolute best storyline in all of wrestling. All of wrestling, not just WWE, all of wrestling, period, right now, currently. This has been the absolute best storyline going today. This is absolutely just the most compelling storytelling. This match here, man, the build for this has been absolutely flawless. Sami Zayn has never been over like he is right now at this very moment, and he is going to get his WrestleMania moment tomorrow night with his absolute best friend, a guy he's come up with from the independent scene all the way up to where they are right now. Him and KO, absolute best friends. They basically are brothers, not biologically, obviously, but they're basically brothers as well. This match is absolutely going to be awesome, man. And let's put something into perspective. A year ago, Sami Zayn was on the WrestleMania card a year ago in one of the most absolute hokiest, dumbest matches you could ever imagine against Johnny Knoxville. Sure, it was funny and entertaining, seeing the cast of Jackass doing all their little crazy shit that they do. But that match was a hokey, gimmicky joke of a match. Now, a year later, turn that clock a year later and look where Sami Zayn is right now. He is in one of the absolute most anticipated WrestleMania matches of all time. And it absolutely should headline Night 1. Will it? We don't know yet. We'll find out tomorrow night as we're all watching it. But Sami Zayn, KO are definitely taking those titles off the Usos tomorrow night. There is just no other sensible and a salute ending for this match other than Sami Zayn and KO holding those titles up over their heads, man. Absolutely can't wait for this match. It's the match I'm looking forward to the most, Night 1, and I can't wait to see it, man. And Sami Zayn, he deserves everything he's getting because I've always been a huge Sami Zayn fan, and I think he's finally getting his just due. And he's absolutely worked his tail off to get it, man. And watch him and KO go out there and win them titles tomorrow, man. It's gonna be beautiful, man. It's gonna be a beautiful thing, and they got to get it done.
Oh, well, I agree with you guys 100%. I think the fact that the storylines were their own storylines. Remember, Kevin Owens had his own problems with the bloodline. Sami Zayn was already in the bloodline. You know, he turned his back on Kevin Owens, and here he is now. You know, they somehow forged through their friendship and are right here, right now, right? And I just think, like you said, I didn't even remember that match that you said about Sami Zayn. That's how forgettable it was. And here we are now, a year later, and he is probably the hottest guy in the WWE, not named Roman Reigns. And to be honest with you, he probably should have won the title. To be 100% honest with you, he probably should have done it. That's how hot he is, right? I knew they probably have to save it. You know, right now they're going to give him his moment because he definitely deserved it in Montreal. Because I believe, and this is me, if you're Vince McMahon, which you're not, you got to follow with you got to listen to your people. Your people speak, and they speak when Sami Zayn is out there. And they have shown me in the last 9 months that guy has had a Daniel Bryan meteoric effect on it. This is like the Yes Movement, except bigger. Like, I feel it's bigger than that. And the only difference between the Yes Movement that was a slightly bigger is that he had to run that gauntlet to be the champion, which was an unforgettable thing for Daniel Bryan to, have to win like 2 or 3 matches in a row to be the title holder. This doesn't quite match up to it, but damn sure going to be up there. And to finally have new tag team titles, right? New tag team title holders for 2 guys, by the way, who deserve it. Let's not put it that. Kevin Owens also deserves this title. Okay, the shit that he's been through, he was the first. We forget he was the first Universal title holder. Okay, actually no, Finn Balor was, and then he got the title next. And I don't think that he ever got his just due as his champion because one, they put him in a suit, which never worked. Right, tried to be in a suit, wasn't a very good guy in a suit, but he at that point I knew he could be a main eventer. Then he gave one of the best matches that people will never talk about with Roman Reigns at the PAC Center in San Diego, where he freaking jumped off scaffolding and landed on Roman Reigns in that outdoor match, which I think was probably the best match of the night. And Kevin Owens probably should have won the title that night. That's how good that match was. So he deserves it. As for the Usos,
the match he had with Seth too, the match he had with Seth in the empty arena where he jumped off the scaffold and hit him right to the elbow with the elbow drop.
Yes,
that match too was phenomenal.
Yes, and so I mean, Kevin Owens puts his body on the line. He deserves it. He's come back. I mean, even the match at WrestleMania with Stephen Austin, it was still
that was so good.
It was so well done and put together. And I'm like, yo, this guy can carry your company. Put some type of hardware on him, and he deserves it. As for the Usos, I'm sick of them. All right, I'm sick of them. I've been sick of them. Sometimes when the WWE gets too big, they force feed champions down your throat. And while I like the Usos and the Uso Penitentiary and all that stuff, it's time to move on. It's time for a change. It's time for guys who deserve it to get a title, and let's move on from this. Like I said, I want to see like the Viking Raiders. I want to see like Kevin Owens and this guy. I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to split the titles up? Who cares? I don't. Just make it fun again. And Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, must see TV. I'm telling you that the Logan Paul Seth Rollins match will steal the show. I do believe this could be one of the matches we remember as well. This match, because I've never had this much build-up. I don't know about you guys for a tag team match.
No, not at all. I don't remember a tag team match feeling this important like this one is going to feel like when we get into WrestleMania Night 1. This is just, and the match is going to be phenomenal. Like anybody that thinks it's just going to be all storyline and the match is not going to be able to, live up to what the storyline's been, you're kidding yourself. You're talking about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who are 2 of the best wrestlers in this company, and no matter what you think about the Usos, they are arguably the best tag team in professional wrestling. When these guys are on, there's not a lot of tag teams that are better than the Usos. This match is going to be phenomenal. We are all going to be talking about this match when it all concludes. Everything about this has been beautiful. Everything about this has been fantastic. And the match is going to be something that we are going to talk about for many, many years and the moment afterwards. I love Kevin Owens. He's phenomenal. Sami Zayn's rise has been a beautiful thing to see, and the moment is going to be literally the best thing WrestleMania has given us since Daniel Bryan won the championship back in 2014 at WrestleMania 30.
I know this is a geek moment, but you guys just made me realize why I'm a wrestling fan.
This is it.
You guys just made me realize, sitting here talking to it, this is what we are watching. It's not about the sport itself. It's about the art of the pageantry. What can you do to captivate an audience with 4 to 20 with these 4 guys right in the match? How can you captivate an audience? And they've done it. And we've poo-pooed the WWE for bad storytelling over the years, right? But whether it was Triple H, who knows? But they've done a great job with a few storylines in this WrestleMania, which after night 1, you guys got me fired up. So let's move on to night 2.
Yeah, I think night 1's going to be a solid card.
Great job, guys. Well, Adam, the needle sticks to you again with this great matchup. Let's have you begin. We got Brock Lesnar, Adam, versus Omos.
What did I do to you? What did I do to you tonight to have to start off with the shittiest match?
It's just the rotation, and it just always lands on you.
Yeah.
But we'll let you begin and then pass it over to Jeff.
I think we need a new moderator. No, I'm just kidding.
You're fired.
But as for this match, I think it's a waste of time of both guys' times. One, Brock Lesnar could be done utilizing so much more. I did not think Brock Lesnar would become a gimmick. He has now become a gimmick. What are you doing with Omos? This should not even be a contest. You shouldn't even be scared of this goofball. The fact that they're making him tower over Omos, right? Like this bumbling idiot, right? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it, right? And then here comes in, Brock Lesnar from the freaking Saskatchewan, And it's like, what is this? This is supposed to be the beast incarnate. I'm supposed to, every time I hear his music play, business is about to pick up. That's what I want to hear. Now I have to hear him with Omos. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? I don't understand why Vince McMahon even booked this match. I get that you like Brock Lesnar, but Omos? Like, of all the people you could have put him in the ring with, you gave us Omos? I want my money back.
I can tell you why he booked this match. Because Vince McMahon likes watching big men wrestle in the ring against one another because it's going to help make him happy. Pause. No. Pause. No pause. It's the truth. That's what he enjoys. He likes watching 2 giants going in the ring and beating the crap out of each other. Even though this will be one of the most unentertaining matches we're going to be seeing. It's going to suck. I don't care about Omos. Do you notice the trend? And we're not the only ones that have been saying it. Where was Omos this entire time when Triple H really started taking over creative? Where was Omos? There was no Omos. Omos was probably stuck somewhere in a Raw Underground when he was playing that guy by the door.
How did he come about? How did he come about? Wasn't he somebody's body? He was AJ Styles' bodyguard.
Yeah.
That's where he was best suited.
Well, he was initially the bouncer. He was that bouncer at the Raw Underground thing they used to do.
Yeah.
He used to be the.
Was he that? I didn't know he was that.
Yeah, he was Raw Underground bouncer at that time. Then he teamed up with AJ Styles, and then they eventually won the tag titles. But I mean, I don't know why Vince. This is Vince McMahon just having his. This is Vince McMahon having his match on WrestleMania. This is all it's about. Brock Lesnar's run has sucked. This has been a horrible run for Brock Lesnar since he's come back. The only other run that's been as bad as this since she's returned has been Ronda Rousey, because her run sucked too. But Brock Lesnar's run since he's returned with this whole cowboy gimmick has been a disaster. I don't care about this match. Mac doesn't care. Adam doesn't care. Wrestling fans all over don't care. The quicker you can get this match over with, the better. I have no idea why this is going to be leading off night 1, unless you're going to have some type of angle that's going to happen. You know what? Have the Hurt Business reunite and beat the crap out of both these guys. Or have the Hurt Business reunite, beat the crap out of Brock, get him out there. Then at least you give us something to be happy about, because I want the Hurt Business back. Make Omos a bodyguard or something for the Hurt Business. Then you got something to talk about. That would at least give us something to be excited about. And you could have the Hurt Business back. You could have Brock and Bobby maybe just finish off their damn feud already. I mean, just do something to at least make this match feel a little bit more relevant, because otherwise this is going to be like a 2 or 3 minute disaster. Suplex, German, F5, F5. The only premise of this match is Brock Lesnar lifting up Omos for an F5. That's it. That's the whole basis of this match, is Brock Lesnar being able to lift up the Nigerian Giant for an F5, putting him down on the ground, and then just calling it a night. That's all. I mean, is Omos really going to win this match? Let's just be real. No. And if he wins this match, is it going to do anything for him? Yeah. Is it going to do anything for Omos? Is going to go on and go after the world championship after this? Come on. Let's be real. Who cares who wins this match? Nobody gives a damn who wins this match. I'll just say that Lesnar will win it, but I don't give a damn. Who cares who wins? Just the quicker you can get this crap over with, the better. Let Vince McMahon get happy in the back watching these two beat the crap out of each other. That's all I care about.
I'll be having my dinner.
Yeah. This is what everybody calls their quintessential bathroom break. But Matt, go ahead.
This match is the ultimate bathroom break. Look, here's the funny part about this match. It absolutely, honestly, it hasn't had a horrible build to it. But nobody gives a damn because Omos absolutely sucks. Every aspect of this build, it's been a decent build for the match, but no, it's a match that nobody gives a damn about. That spot when Omos tried to push Brock Lesnar over the top rope, that was embarrassing. I felt embarrassed for Omos in that moment. He absolutely sucks. This match is going to suck. Nobody cares about it, and I ain't got nothing else to say about it. Brock Lesnar should win, and and that's it. That's all. That's the bottom line. That's all I got. I'm not wasting any more breath on this match.
But Matt, the Giants fan, this is good shit. That's why I booked this match. How can you not love the mighty Nigerian Giant, Omos, future world champion, great colleague?
I do love the Great Muta, though, who's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame right now. I do love the Great Muta.
You can thank Triple H for that one. Because there's no way in hell the Great Muta would be getting inducted into the Hall of Fame if Vince McMahon was behind this. So you can thank Triple H for that one.
We look like we got like another Fatal 4-Way tag team matchup, it looks like here. So I'm going to just not name all those names. You guys can clearly see it on the bottom of the list.
This is the second match after this? Oh, my God.
I'm going to let Mac start it off and then pass it over to Adam.
Terrible.
Another match where, like I said about the men's Fatal 4-Way, I'll say the same thing. You got some talented ladies here. I believe that it'll probably be a pretty halfway decent match to watch and enjoy as a wrestling fan. But does it belong on WrestleMania? No. Once again, I'll say the same thing like I said about the men's Fatal 4-Way. It's not a WrestleMania-worthy match. It's just another match that also got thrown together. It's not supposed to be Sonya Deville. It's supposed to be Chelsea Green and Carmella, but Carmella's got an injury, unfortunately. So Sonya Deville is pretty much the replacement there for. And it's just like I said, it could be an entertaining match, kind of. Like I said, these are some talented women here, but at the end of the day, not a WrestleMania-worthy match, not a match worthy of the grand stage of WrestleMania. If I got to pick a winner here, throw darts at the damn board, I'm just going to pick Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez because I like them the best. I don't have any other rhyme or reason for it. I like them the best. I would like to see them win, I guess, just because they're the ones I like the most out of everybody else in this match. I love Shayna Baszler as an individual, but they don't seem to be interested in pushing her as an individual. They want to make her be Ronda Rousey's little flunky now. I just, whatever, it is what it is. I don't, but if it wasn't Liv Morgan or Raquel, I would think that Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey will be the only other potential winners here. I don't really see Natalya and Shotzi getting a W or Chelsea Green or Sonya Deville getting a W here. So I'm just going to go with Raquel and Liv Morgan because I believe these two women right now have been putting in a lot of work, especially over the last course of the year. I think they're going to get ready to push Raquel Rodriguez after WrestleMania. And Liv Morgan has been putting in that work. As you see, she's been making quite a name for herself. Once upon a time when Liv Morgan was in NXT, I used to look at that girl and say, there's no way this girl is going to make it, man. She just doesn't seem to have the stuff. But I'm glad she proved me wrong, and I'm a big fan of hers now. And I would like to see them go out there and get the W. I think it could be an entertaining match, but it's not a WrestleMania-worthy match, in my opinion.
Well, I like these. I think this is a good Monday Night Raw match. Want to put these teams on Monday Night Raw to fill some time? Good, fine. I mean, I like Liv Morgan. I think she's not being booked correctly. She should be in the title picture. Raquel Rodriguez, again, I believe she should be in the title picture. I think Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler are going to win this match because they're trying to build them up as this menacing tag team duo, which I do believe at some point will be challenging for the females women tag team titles. So that's why I feel those two will win this match because they're trying to build it up. And I guarantee you they probably would have put them in there, but so many people want their shot. Like Natalya and Shotzi, okay, great. That's a team that I don't think is going anywhere. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, we already know their careers, right? Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, it looked like they've built this alliance together and are going to start cracking skulls. And then there's Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. I mean, like, there's nobody there to me that does anything except for the first four, right? But they all have their own stories. Liv Morgan can go on and do whatever she wants, so can Raquel Rodriguez. I really think Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey need this match in order for us to believe them as a menacing tag team going forward. Otherwise, I don't even really think this match is necessary at WrestleMania. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't see the I'm not looking forward to this match as much at all. I think it could end up being pretty solid or it could end up being a cluster, what. I mean, I like what Liv Morgan has done. I don't know if she's going to be I don't know if I'd put her into the title picture right now because her last title defense was just not good at all. I mean, the way that ended with her and Rousey was just terrible. I like Raquel Rodriguez. I'd be intrigued with her. And I think if it was up to me, I'm booking Liv and Raquel Rodriguez to win. But I agree with you, Adam. It's going to be Shayna and Ronda. They've been building these two up to eventually be the ones to take over that women's tag team division. Shotzi Blackheart has been incredibly underwhelming after how great she was in NXT. She's had an underwhelming WWE main roster run. Natalya's just there because they need a veteran on this match, just to team up somebody with Shotzi. I mean, I actually, believe it or not, I'm actually somewhat entertained by this Chelsea Green Karen gimmick. It's actually not that bad on Monday Night Raw. It's something different, and I actually don't mind it. And I thought her and Carmella could have been a very dynamic, like an interesting tag team because they're just so annoying. It's actually going to be somewhat decent TV, and I like the little interactions they have with Adam Pearce, but it's got to be Shayna and Ronda because it makes the most sense. These are the two of the four original horsewomen of the MMA. So I mean, like, it just makes too much sense. They're the only one that feels like a real tag team. I think Liv and Raquel are just there as like a makeshift team. Same thing with Shotzi and Natalya, just to get them on the card. And then Carmella, and then Chelsea Green in Sonya Deville. It's just a makeshift team because Carmella's out right now with injury. So I really don't care.
Who are the SmackDown Women's Champions?
The SmackDown Women's Champion or
the tag titles. So like who holds?
The tag titles is only
there's only one.
Just Lita and Becky Lynch. They only had one tag.
Oh, they don't have two anymore?
No, they only have one tag title.
They never had two. They never had two women's tag team titles. Just NXT one in NXT and one on the main roster.
So then I stand by my Baszler statement. Because they're going to need somebody to challenge those two at some point.
Well, Ronda's injured too. Ronda's got like a fractured arm or something that she's going into WrestleMania with. So she's got a broken arm right now that she's wrestling with. I don't know if that's going to impact the match at all and how much she might be able to do, but it makes the most sense. Who really is going to win this match? I guess you could give it to Liv and Raquel, but let's just be real. Those two should not be in a tag team right now. They should be fighting for the title. In fact, what I would love to see is Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez and rebuild what they had in NXT. That would be a tremendous feud on SmackDown, having those two young ladies going after the SmackDown Women's title on that brand. And then you have Liv Morgan building herself back up in the singles department, maybe getting to a title picture. I mean, Shotzi, I don't know what happened to Shotzi. I really like what Shotzi's doing in NXT.
They need teams.
It's booking. It's just booking.
The booking
they don't
has not
book
been
the
good.
women good at all. They don't. It's just all booking. It's not what she can do in the ring. It's not her ability in the ring. It's just purely the booking and how they book.
And it's sad because they were running the show for a little while. The women, they were having some good matches, and now I feel like Selena Vega's gone. She doesn't get used. I mean, we could go on and on, but we have other.
Blame on Vince McMahon. It's Vince McMahon why the booking is this terrible, and then Triple H is trying hard to revive that division, but it's going to be very hard for a crowd to care about a women's division that has been so damn irrelevant booking wise for years. It's going to take a long time. Triple H is going to have to book that women's division and make them look strong because let's just be real. The only names that people care about in that women's division is the Horsewomen, including Sasha when she's there.
There were SmackDown
Rhea and Bianca. That's it.
Weren't Naomi and Sasha Banks the SmackDown women's tag team?
They were just women tag team. There's always only been the one women tag team titles for both brands.
I'm so stupid.
The women tag team champions wrestle on both brands.
And they cared about that title so much, they tossed the damn titles on John Laurinaitis' desk and said, I'm the hell out of here.
Let's get into the women's championship belt then. While we're at it, we have Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Who do you guys got in this one? Let's start with Jeff. Pass it over to Mac.
I think the match is going to be incredible. I really believe that these two women are going to, I think these two are going to put on an absolute phenomenal match. Asuka is great in the ring. Bianca is great in the ring. I think these two are going to put on a 10-15 minute banger of a match in that ring for the Raw Women's Championship. I'm actually, this is the women's matchup I'm looking forward to the most because of the way both these women have worked in previous matchups, and I think they're going to put on a great match. In terms of the build, it's been a disaster. Let's just be real. Asuka looked so good when she first returned back at Royal Rumble with that sick Kana-like face paint on her face and how dominant she looked in that Royal Rumble. And then the way, they booked her, how strong she looked at first, including in the Elimination Chamber. But this whole entire build has been this. That's been the whole build. Asuka dripping goo out of her mouth and pointing at the WrestleMania sign. Like what? They finally had Asuka attack Bianca on like the last week before the WrestleMania match. It sucked. This has been one of the worst builds you could have for a women's divisional matchup, and how good Asuka has looked. It makes me think that Vince McMahon is booking this match. Because why is Asuka dancing again? Why is she dribbling goo out of her mouth? Asuka should be beating the living shit out of Bianca Belair and using legit mind games to screw at Bianca more than what she's been doing. This is what Kana would do back in her Stardom days. Nonetheless, I still believe this match is going to be fantastic. And I do believe the right call. Bianca, you had a phenomenal run as Raw Women's Champion. You've been the flagship of that damn brand in the women's division for a year. But it's Asuka's time, and it's time to have Asuka become the new Raw Women's Champion. That's got to be the right call. Bianca, I wouldn't even mind if she goes away for a little bit. Maybe you move her to SmackDown eventually. But Asuka has got to be the one to win that championship and carry Monday Night Raw going forward. So I'm going with Asuka to win. I think it's going to be a very good match.
Well, great take, Jeff. And last night, man, I once again shout out to my guy DJ Storms. Once again, shout out to him doing great wrestling content on his channel, man. Go sub up to DJ Storms, please. Everybody, all you wrestling fans out there, does great work. And yesterday on his show, I kind of predicted this match one way, and I'm going to change my mind now because he put some things in my head that made me, want to sleep on it, think about it. And even what Jeff just said here, it's making me, go back on my decision. The first I initially was thinking maybe Bianca, her title reign is kind of at a point now where it's kind of running stale. She's like a supreme baby face, though. And I was thinking maybe they go some direction where they actually maybe turn Bianca heel. She cheats to defend her and defends her title. That would be like a great surprise outcome for me as a fan. But he made me think, he said something like he said, right now she's too over as a baby face, too kind of be too drastic of a turn for her to make a heel turn right now, at least anyway. And after I slept on it and thought about it, I think he's kind of right there. And I think Asuka actually could be the one that just kind of goes more devious here and wins this match, ultimately does win this match, wins this title, and goes on and becomes that next badass female heel in the company for a little while, spitting that paint, spitting that stuff out in people's face, doing all the badass things heels do, and I think Asuka can definitely carry that role well, man. She was one of the best female heels when she was over in New Japan, one of the best that ever did it. And so I believe they will go in that direction now. And I'm going to change my mind from what I said on DJ Storm's show last night. And I will go with Asuka here and agree with you, Jeff, as well. I think Asuka's going to win this title, and because I think it's just time for a little bit of changing in the guard. Bianca's had a great run as champion, but like I said, it's kind of run its course. It's kind of like, kind of over. It's kind of getting a little stale, getting a little boring. And it's time for her trying to figure out something new for Bianca Belair, and I think Asuka's is the right woman to take this title off of her at WrestleMania on Sunday night. Take it away, Adam.
I think Asuka needs to win the title, and here's why. Bianca Belair needs to go away. She needs to be a babyface no more. Go into a place, take some time off, get off the screen, right? Let us forget about you. And then come back as the badass bitch, just smacking bitches around like, no, be menacing. Because the only way you can turn heel is if you go away for a little while, right? You get injured or you take a vacation. Bianca Belair needs to rebrand. I like her, but she doesn't. I mean, she's a superhero now. And at some point, that like it happened with Bayley, but she obviously can't hold being an evil character. It'll happen with everyone. And I think Bianca Belair has had a great rookie year, or whatever she says, right? Or great year to her career, year and a half, right? Women's Royal Rumble winner, goes on to win the title, beats Becky Lynch, defends the title, has done many things. But it's not her time anymore. She had a WrestleMania moment. Asuka has not. Remember, when she won the title at Money in the Bank, she won the title at Money in the Bank unbeknownst to her because Becky Lynch, was pregnant. So it became her title. I don't ever think that Asuka got the chance to get this WrestleMania moment. And this will be it. This is the one where you crown a new
she did have
it. What?
She did have a chance, but they decided she had a chance. They decided to let Charlotte Flair end her undefeated streak that she carried from NXT up to the main roster. They decided to let Charlotte Flair end that. But yeah, she had a chance.
But that's not a real moment. That's you lost, right? You had to give up the title. And I feel like they've dogged Asuka. She's been a great part of the company. One of my favorites since she's come in, just the way she just carries herself. The girl can wrestle. She's a badass on all phases of it. And I think this, whether a heel persona that's come out, I like even more. And I think, like you said, needs to be up on that stage, holding that thing with green goo coming out of her mouth, saying nobody is ready for Asuka. That's how you end it. That's how you build up a queen. That's how you build up a new fucking empire. That's what I would do. If I was a Triple H, I know you're probably sleeping right now, but write it in there. Have her go up there and just Asuka and blue stuff coming all out. I'm telling you, ages.
I don't know how you
I'm
guys
sure that
feel.
the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Yeah, most likely. But the thing is, what do you guys? You think it's it's possible that we're going to get both women's titles to be changed at WrestleMania? And I don't know why it makes me a little nervous that if Asuka is getting the belt, that I don't even want to put it in my mind, but we know what Miss Flair likes to do. It makes me a little nervous because I don't know if WWE is going to pull the trigger and have both women's titles change hands at WrestleMania 39. I could see one of these women retaining.
The only way you could not do that is if you want to save some build up for Backlash, right? For that WrestleMania Backlash. Because that's what I think, I hate to say it, a lot of these things are going to build up with, right? Because they're going to try to set up, like whoever wins the Intercontinental title, I'm sure there's going to be a Backlash match, following it, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to do what you say, Jeff, and say, let's keep the title on Bianca. We'll let her, keep her reign, and then at Backlash, we'll start it. To me, the more epic message, the more epic messaging, the way you get somebody over is feed the beast. You give Asuka the title, that Raw she comes out, I'm telling you, the roof is gonna blow. You give Bianca the title, it'll be like every time she shows up, right? Everyone's gonna like her. You give Asuka the title, and they're gonna love to hate her just because they're gonna respect her game, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, also,
I love it.
there's another wild card in this also that none of us have been speaking about. Something I've read, on the internet, all kind of things on the internet.
Do spill.
Yes.
Alexa Bliss has been teasing a WrestleMania appearance in some capacity, and I would think if she's going to make an appearance at WrestleMania, it's going to have something to do with this match right here, and we can see what that could do going into WrestleMania Backlash going forward after WrestleMania.
She could screw up Bianca. She could screw Bianca out because of their match they had at Royal Rumble, and they could have her coming back, and maybe it's going to start a feud between Bianca and Alexa Bliss, and you can get the title off Bianca, have those two feud again, whatever the hell you want to do with that, and you could have Asuka go on and have challenge whoever it is on the Raw side for the title. So maybe that's a good point, because Alexa Bliss has sort of been off the grid since her Royal Rumble match for the title against Bianca. So maybe Bliss is going to come back and do something to screw Bianca out of the title.
She was busy doing the Masked Singer.
Yeah. Well, she also had something serious.
She was busy
she had something serious that happened to her too. She underwent I don't know if you heard about it. She had skin cancer. So
yeah, she was doing all that, and she was doing the Masked Singer show. So she's done all of that now. She's ready to get back in the ring, apparently. So we'll see.
Uncle Howdy.
As we move on, let's start with Adam. We got the Intercontinental Championship on the line. We got Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. Actually, you know what? Let's spin it around. We're actually gonna start with Jeff this one and then pass it over at Matt.
No, let Adam go. Let Adam go.
Adam go. All right, go right ahead, Adam.
What kind of bullshit? It was because I said you get fired the last time. Is that? That's what that bullshit.
Oh, because I was trying to let you start the main event.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about this match, by the way. Go ahead.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. I think this is going to be
Let's get it.
A very good match. It probably should be a match hopefully a match we're talking about for a long time. I would love to see Sheamus win, but McIntyre needs to win. But Gunther has impressed me. I haven't been a huge fan of him. I shouldn't say a huge fan of him. I didn't know much about him. Ever since I've watched him, I'm like, yo, this guy is dripping the next fucking WWE champion. Like, he just got everything you need. He's got the just the presence about him. And the Intercontinental Championship, he has done a phenomenal job. Probably the most underrated championship run of them all, right? I mean, we talk about, Roman Reigns and Bianca Belair, but, Gunther's done a pretty good job. And he's had some big bouts. He's fought the title. He's put it on the line. He's come through some big matches, and I really am impressed with what he's done. That being said, I like Drew McIntyre to win. I want Drew McIntyre to win. I think Drew McIntyre deserves this. I know that Sheamus, there's a spot for Sheamus, like Jeff, you always say about numbers and nostalgia, and I could see them giving them this title because he's never won it. But I could also see them having a great match at Backlash or something like that, where Sheamus gets his moment. May not be at WrestleMania, but he gets his moment. But for Sunday night, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre.
Well, I've been watching Walter, a.k.a. Gunther, since his NXT UK days and his NXT days. This guy is so goddamn good. He is so good. The Ring General is so intimidating. When he comes out with his Imperium boys, and that is one of the best factions that nobody talks about and should talk about more, Imperium.
They don't let those guys do much.
Gunther is so damn good in the ring. Like, anytime this guy's in the ring, it's a must-see. And that match that he had against Sheamus at Clash at the Castle, I would argue was the best match of the entire year last year. You could throw it up there as one of the best matches of the entire 2022 calendar in professional wrestling. Those two guys beat the living shit out of each other. And I don't know about you guys, but you can't pay me enough to take a damn chop from Gunther. No way in hell would I ever take a chop from that dude. Just look at what Sheamus's chest looked like after that match at Clash of the Castle. His look is incredible. His demeanor has been incredible. His entire, persona, especially what he did in the Royal Rumble, Gunther is phenomenal. And he's been booked so damn well by Triple H. And I think that this match, coupled with the match we're probably going to talk about next, but this match I think could steal the entire damn weekend. And this, if you like physical wrestling, if you like just absolute brutal physical slap, like beating the crap out of your opponent's wrestling, you're getting it in this match. These three are going to literally beat the living hell out of each other. You're talking about three of the hardest hitting wrestlers in the entire company, and talking about the workhorse championship of WWE, the Intercontinental Championship. You couldn't have booked three guys better for this type of matchup at WrestleMania 39. This match is going to be great. This match is going to maybe steal the entire weekend. And if I had to pick, I'm going with Sheamus. Sheamus has never won the IC title. He's never won the IC title, the only title in his Hall of Fame career. He's never won. I think there's no better spot for Sheamus to get that title back and to get that title than at WrestleMania 39. Hell, I think DJ Storms and others have even said, why not you have Sheamus pin Gunther? After what happened all this time, wouldn't it be fitting if Sheamus pins Gunther? Either way, I think Sheamus has got to win this match. I think it'd just be a fitting moment for Sheamus to finally get that IC title at WrestleMania 39. This match is going to be awesome. Awesome. It's a sit back, grab a beer, get us some snacks, and just watch three men that know how to put on an absolute fight, beat the living hell out of each other in what is going to be a 10, 15, 20-minute entertaining as hell match. But I'm going with Sheamus to win this match. Mac, go ahead.
Well, I don't know if this match is going to be the best match, but I know what it will be. It'll be the absolute most physical, hard-hitting contest we're going to see on either night of WrestleMania. I can guarantee that. If you go back to that Clash of the Castle match with Gunther and Sheamus, man, oh my chest is still hurting watching some of the shots those guys were taking in that match. It was absolutely unbelievable, man. Gunther has just completely put the prestige back on the Intercontinental title. This is the most epic Intercontinental title run we've had in years from anyone. He's an absolute superstar. He's definitely on his way to the top. I honestly, I was talking about it last night with DJ. It'll probably most likely go on to win the next year's Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania next year. I think that's really the actual plan for Gunther's ascension to the World Championship. Will be waiting to be until next year at WrestleMania. And I right now I'd see Sheamus, man. Sheamus has had a couple of cracks at Gunther. This is a triple threat. You added Drew McIntyre to the fold, but Sheamus has been a Hall of Fame performer in the WWE. His entire career has been great. He's been a company guy. He's always fallen in line. He's done everything they've asked, whether it wasn't really good or not. He's still just done it as like a professional that he is. The only title that has escaped him his entire career is the Intercontinental title. I think he completes his Grand Slam and wins that Intercontinental title on Sunday night. I mean, if the Miz is a Grand Slam champion, you gotta get Sheamus to that status. You got to get Sheamus to that status as well. I mean, come on. You can't have the Miz being a Grand Slam champion and Sheamus not. You got to put that title on Sheamus. He's had two great bangers with Gunther already. Like I said, this is. I'm not sure if Orton is, but he probably is. But yeah, he probably is. I would imagine. But you throw that what you call. You throw Drew McIntyre into the mix. All it can do is make this match even that much more hard hitting. I don't know what the plans are going to be here, how this is going to go down, but I believe Sheamus is going to walk out of there Sunday night as the Intercontinental Champion, and he absolutely deserves it because this dude has had one hell of a career with WWE. He will probably easily go down as one of the greatest Irish wrestlers of all time, and I just think you got to put this title on Sheamus. The time is now, man. Give him this title. Let him get that honor as the Grand Slam champion. And one day we will be honoring Sheamus in the WWE Hall of Fame. So let's just go, man. I think Sheamus got to win this right now, and then start moving Gunther along the line and start working him up. Building him for what's going to be inevitably a main event at WrestleMania next year. Begin that build right now with Gunther.
Would you think about maybe turning Drew McIntyre heel and maybe having a feud between Drew and Sheamus going into the summer months for the IC title? Because you could maybe do that with these two being
I'd be
so
okay
close
with
friends.
I'd be okay with that. That would be something fun to keep an eye on. I mean, I would think I would kind of want to go along the lines of Sheamus win this title and maybe get Seth Rollins in the mix. You know what I mean? And because Seth Rollins needs to get back in the title mix as well.
Knight.
LA Knight. I mean, all kinds of things. I mean, Karrion Kross is a lot of guys. Like I said, you can get put into the mix. Like the fact that we got Omos at WrestleMania and we don't have LA Knight, Karrion Kross, Bobby Lashley, talents like that, not on the WrestleMania card, but we got space for Omos. That's the stuff like that bothers me about Vince McMahon. But anyway, this is about Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre, and I think Sheamus comes out with the title, man.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh,
is that
wait,
fucking
Matt.
Conan? Oh,
can
yes, baby. That's my
start
boy.
us off with Edge versus Finn Balor, Hell in a Cell. Let's get it and then pass it over to Adam.
Chops are licking. You talk about, once again, great storytelling, great build, another match that had awesome build, man. This is going to be brutal. You're going to get Edge coming out Brood style, man, with Gangrel. You're going to have Finn Balor, the demon, channeling his inner demon, locking these two men in a cell, man. I don't. This is one that's been racking my brain how this match is going to go, man. I can't wait for it. I still think Edge is going to get it right now because the way this match has been, everything's been built up. I know Edge got the W at the Elimination Chamber in the mixed tag match with his wife against Finn and Rhea, but at the same time, I think Edge has kind of been on the short end of the stick of this build for the most part, as far as Judgment Day kind of one up in him most of the time. I think this will be the night where Edge gets over that hump against Judgment Day and kind of just wrap this whole story up, and then you can just move on, let Judgment Day continue to keep rolling the way they are, because they are absolutely the top faction in WWE currently right now. I mean, not other than the Bloodline, but they're absolutely the top faction, like I said, other than the Bloodline right now. They got a lot of good things going on. I wouldn't even mind seeing maybe getting Dominic Mysterio and Damian Priest in the tag team title picture or something like that. Rhea Ripley's gonna win that title, the women's SmackDown title. Get, like I said, Dominic, Damian in a tag team title picture, and just have Finn and just start pushing Finn Balor along, and ascending him back up the singles ranks as well, because Finn Balor was a main eventer. Finn Balor, lest people forget, was the first Universal Heavyweight Champion. People forget that because he only had the title for one night because he had to relinquish it because he got injured in the title match when he won the belt. But at the same time, it's almost like he's been kind of forgotten about since then, and he's just kind of been pushed down a little bit, went back down to NXT, had a little run down there again, and they brought him back up, and now he's hit his stride as he's gone heel and turned with Judgment Day and turned heel. You know, it's been great, man. It's been great storytelling. Him and Edge, it's going to be a phenomenal match. Locking these two in the cell, you couldn't pick two better guys to put in that Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania, man. This match is going to absolutely steal the show on night 2 at WrestleMania. I can guarantee that.
Well, if it doesn't steal the show with the match, the entrances will definitely make up for it. But on this day, I see clearly something is coming to light. okay? And that is Edge is going to finish off. See what I did there? Edge is going to finish off Finn Balor. I think this has been a great build. I think Edge finally clashing and beating, Finn Balor. Remember, he was embarrassed and did the I Quit match, right, because of Beth. So they had to give him that one up at Elimination Chamber. This time, I think he finally catches it in. Not to mention, Gangrel might be there. His Brood allies might be there. Things are going to go down. This is a Hell in a Cell match with one of the best performers in Hell in a Cell and one of the most underrated performers in Finn Balor. Okay? I think I've liked Finn Balor since he's got the coup de grace. I think is one of the best moves out there. I liked him when he, was the Dark Prince, and now he's Judgment Day, right? And I didn't think that he would be able to pull off being a heel. And so far, he's done a phenomenal job. And you want to talk about a guy who deserves an IC title or moving up the ranks? He's a guy. He's a guy similar to Shinsuke Nakamura, wherever that guy is, who deserves to be...
He's at the Hall of Fame ceremony right now.
Who deserves to be involved, right? And Finn Balor, I think, is a talent that you waste. And if you want to make the faction good at Raw, as just as good as the Bloodline, I'm not saying it's ever going to reach that height. Put a couple titles on these guys, and they don't have to be great titles. They could be the women's title, they could be the Intercontinental title, they could be the tag team titles. Then you start to go, oh shit, maybe we got something here. You know what I mean? And then they get to have their moment in the sun, because reward them for their hard work. Right now, they're a great faction. Finn Balor did a good job taking over for Edge, and this match is that culmination. It is that where Edge finally gets to put to bed the Judgment Day and move on to bigger things. Remember, Edge even teased it. He said, I have other things I need to get done before I end this journey, and that is he needs to be in the title picture. He wants his title back, the title he never lost, the title he came to get in 2020. Let's go.
I mean, storytelling again. Remember how this all began almost a year ago when Finn Balor came back when Edge was part of the Judgment Day. Finn Balor was initially just going to join the Judgment Day, and then he ended up, along with the rest of them, turning on Edge. And you've had the story start up from there. That fantastic intergender tag team match they had at Extreme Rules with Balor and Ripley against Beth Phoenix and Edge, with the concerto spot they had with Rhea Ripley on Beth Phoenix. Then you had Edge's epic return at the Royal Rumble, taking out the entire Judgment Day faction. And then you had Beth Phoenix come back to that great intergender tag match they had at Elimination Chamber. And the Hell in a Cell is a special match. The Hell in a Cell is used for a feud like this that is so damn personal, that has had this type of length of a feud, that has had so many twists and turns, that there's no other match that has to end a feud like this than Hell in a Cell. And especially the fact you have Edge's Brood character and Finn Balor's Demon character. It makes too much sense. You're putting the Demon and the Brood, and you're locking them in hell. And thank God they're getting rid of that stupid red cage, and they're bringing back the old Hell in the Cell, the old school Hell in the Cell that we remember back in the day when we saw Mick Foley jumping off they're flying off the damn thing multiple times.
Now that's old school. I don't think they're going
Hell in the Cell. But I'm actually going a different direction with you guys. I'm going with Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor is going to end up winning this match because Balor can use the win a lot more. In reality, Edge got his win at Elimination Chamber. Yes, it was a tag match, but I think Balor could really benefit from a monster win, especially with him being the Demon, because besides that, whatever that was with Roman Reigns, the Demon, when he summons that Demon character, it's almost virtually a lock. Finn Balor is winning when he's the Demon. And I don't care what Edge is going to do as the Brood character. I think the best booking wise would be just to have Finn Balor go over in this match. I think he needs to win more. I think it would build so much more credibility to have Balor say he went to hell and he was able to take down the Brood Edge in Hell in the Cell. This match is going to be brutal. This match is going to be insane. The entrance, and I've heard rumors that WWE is talking to AEW to get Christian back for this entrance too, and get Edge, Christian, and Gangrel together for that Brood entrance, and that would just bring all of us back to late 90s, early 2000 Brood entrance, which is one of the best entrances of all time. That would be a moment. Demon entrance is always a moment. That would be incredible. And Edge even says he's talking to creative that he wants to do something like insane in this Hell in the Cell match. When you think about that, I'm like, holy shit, they're going to the top of the cage. They're going to go to the top of the Hell in the Cell, and they're going to do something nuts in this match. But wouldn't it be fitting for what they've done in this feud to go up to the top of the cage and you see one of them flying off through something? You know, just like having a
reenacting the Undertaker. Yeah. Well, then you need to call up Jim Ross.
No, we're never going to see that again. I don't think, though.
I don't know. I mean, we've seen it before.
I don't think we're going to see something quite that extreme.
Cage. I mean, Shane McMahon did jump off the
Hell in the Cell
a couple of WrestleManias ago.
Talking about Finn Balor has a serious history of injuries. I don't foresee. And Edge is just kind of, obviously we know his history too as well. So I don't see either one of them pulling a spot like that. But it could be something still pretty. Figure out a way to do something pretty extreme. I don't think it's going to be quite that extreme. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be quite that extreme.
and you want me to be honest too? I think this match should have blood. This match should have blood in it, especially when you're in Hell in the freaking Cell. Hell in the Cell, this match should have blood involved. You see these guys getting thrown into the damn cage. You need to have, because when you have blood in a match for something as vicious, brutal, and personal like this feud is, if you have blood in Hell in the Cell, it adds the match credibility even that much higher. It heightens the match for this type of feud that you have. This match is going to be awesome. This match could steal the show easily too. I'm ecstatic for this match. When Ed said Hell in the Cell, I jumped for joy. I'm like, holy shit, we got our show stealer. And this match is going to be absolutely something to behold. But I respectfully disagree. I think Finn Balor is going to win this match. I think the Demon, the promo has been great too. And Finn Balor, my God, the Judgment Day's transformation with all of these guys, but Finn Balor has felt like the Finn Balor that we should have gotten many years ago, and he has been so good as a heel. I think Finn Balor needs to not go for the IC title. Finn Balor's got to go for the world title. He's got to be back in that world championship range and put him in a spot that he damn near belongs in because he's that good. So I'm going to go with Finn Balor to win this match and build him up to get ready for a potential championship match down the road.
I love it. Great job, guys. And I am personally, I don't really watch as much as you guys, but out of everybody other than AJ Styles, I do like Finn Balor.
You might get AJ Styles back soon too, so just throwing that out there.
Awesome.
And Shinsuke and Matt Riddle.
Awesome to have them coming back, but then again it does tie into what we talked about in previous episodes of Premium Take, is how do you book all these superstars when you have a star-studded cast. Let's get into the championship, man. The reason why we're here, right? The main event of WrestleMania. Hopefully, who knows? We might see him lose. We might see him reach that 1,000-day mark. What happens with that? Jeff started us out and then passed it to Mac, and then we're gonna have Adam end the show with his take. So go right ahead, Jeff. What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, first off, I like Cody Rhodes. I've always liked Cody Rhodes since he was in AEW, since he was on the Indies, after he was let go from WWE with that ridiculous Stardust gimmick that he tried to put over, even like the broken mirrors Cody, with the mask and then all that kind of stuff. I've always been a fan of Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, you have to really actually sit there and listen to his promos to really get Cody Rhodes in a nutshell. He's great. Cody's been getting better as a wrestler. And Roman Reigns, I mean, no matter what you think about Roman Reigns, we have never seen a champion this dominant, this impressive. And you want to talk about a transformation. Everybody, unless you are like a hardcore Roman Reigns fan, could not stand Roman Reigns because of the way they were booking him and shoving him down our throats as a babyface. It was terrible. Forcing him into this championship role, every single one of us were like, turn this guy heel, turn this guy heel, turn this guy heel. He would be great as a heel. And they finally pulled the trigger at SummerSlam in 2020 when they turned him heel, and he has not looked back. And this Tribal Chief gimmick has been great. The music, the entrance, everything has been great. I think Roman Reigns is one of, if not one of the most dominant champions you will ever see. You're not going to see a championship reign ever in a long time like you've seen with this one right now with Roman Reigns, what he's done with that title. The build for this match has been, it's been lackluster to begin. It's not had enough time. I think the last couple of shows have really like amped it up a little bit, but the match itself I think is going to be very good. I think that Cody and Roman are going to put on a very good match overall. I really honestly don't know. This is a flip of the coin. I really don't know who can ultimately win this match because I got to see both sides on who really could win this. But I'm going with Roman. I think ultimately Roman is going to retain the title. I don't know why. I have this feeling because WWE loves their numbers. I think WWE is going to want to have Roman Reigns hit that 1,000 mark as a champion, and then eventually you could build it up, have Cody chase him during the summer, and then eventually have the title change at SummerSlam. And then what I think is going to happen is you're going to have that Universal Championship get retired because they're not going to want anybody to ever have that championship because of what Roman's done with that title. Retire it, Cody gets his own belt, and then you move on. Roman goes on a break, and then you just start off the Cody Rhodes era, and you could just divide the championships into two for each brand, or you could have one championship overall. But I think just because the build not being there enough, and I just believe that this WWE is going to want to get Roman to 1,000 days as champion, I'm going with Roman Reigns. Roman is going to find a way to retain that title and hold on to it just a little bit longer, and then eventually the title change will happen closer, or if not at SummerSlam.
Oh, all right. Before I start talking about this match real quick, I got my TV here on the Hall of Fame ceremony. Rey Mysterio is now in the ring getting inducted in the Hall of Fame, and right as he started speaking, the Judgment Day got up and walked out of the arena. Dominic and Rhea Ripley arm in arm. Damian Priest. I didn't notice Finn Balor, but he might have been there. I just didn't notice him. But anyway, I knew something weird was going to happen there in that spot. Just got to keep continuing to build for this match tomorrow night, for that match tomorrow night between father and son. But anyway, here we are, the main event, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. This match, we kind of already knew we were getting this as a main event here at WrestleMania 39 for better part of a good year now. Solid. Pretty much once Cody came back last year against Seth Rollins, you kind of knew that this was building up. It was going to lead to him getting a title shot at WrestleMania 39. I think what happened here with this match where it's lost a little bit of its luster was that injury to Cody Rhodes where he was on the shelf for all those months. It just made this match lose its luster. Came back, you put him in the Royal Rumble and came in the spot number 30. He wins it. Yeah. But to me, that's like he came in and won at 30. Rhea Ripley went wire to wire in the Royal Rumble. Came in at number 1 or 2, whatever. Either way, she was one of the first 2 women in the match, and she went all the way through. It just, to me, made her feat more impressive, you know. But this match here, it now with Vince McMahon, if Vince McMahon was still completely out of the mix, no doubt in my mind, I would be going Cody Rhodes here. No doubt in my mind. But with Vince having his little dirty paws in the mix a little bit now again, I could see him exactly what Jeff said, man, wanting to push Roman through. Roman wins it, contains, and still goes on to get to 1,000 days as champion. I just could see Vince wanting to pull some nonsense like that. However, with the whole bloodline thing clearly coming to an end, the cracks they're not even cracks anymore at this point. They're massive gashes. You know what I mean? And so the bloodline is coming to an end in one way or another. But will Roman Reigns still have that title? I just got this bad, awful feeling in my gut that's saying that he will. I just think that this match lost so much. Like I said, the loss with Cody's injury, it just doesn't have that. It doesn't have that same appeal like it did initially when it was first brought up and people were talking about it when Cody first came back. And I just think Roman may actually end up retaining here in some kind of weird, wonky way. And I don't know. Maybe we'll even get some kind of stupid rematch at WrestleMania Backlash. But I just don't. I don't know. I just think Vince McMahon, he scares the hell out of me right now, and I think Roman Reigns is going to probably retain just only for the purpose of just getting to 1,000 days as champion and adding one more accolade to his resume, man. So that's just how I see it now. Take it away, Adam.
Well, I will say this. Don't do that. It's dumb, okay? We've built this up so long. This guy, Cody Rhodes, has been injured, fought through an injury to have one of the best matches we tend to forget about with Seth freaking Rollins, okay, on one arm. He then comes back earlier to win the Royal Rumble, which we all anticipated him doing. If he could come back, we wanted to see it. Why? Because we wanted to see him face Roman Reigns. It was clouded with The Rock possibly joining, but The Rock is not here. Okay, Cody Rhodes is. It is time to move on. You've built this guy up for a year. You brought him back. You have the whole storyline about his brother. You're really going to put that whole storyline and then make him fail? Because if he fails, there's nobody that's winning the title. You might as well just let Roman Reigns be buried in it. Because there will be no credible people or viable way of doing it. Unless you keep the bloodline going and have Jey Uso cost them the title at some point, which they could do. But to me, just, I think it would be better to see them all get the title taken away. Otherwise, the storyline with Cody does nothing. And how many Royal Rumbles would that be? The winner goes on to headline WrestleMania only to be a loser. Right? Edge goes on, won the Royal Rumble. He lost. I think somebody the next year lost. Okay? And now, I think Brock Lesnar won, so they could have the unification of the titles at WrestleMania. And then now you have this one. 3 years in a row, the Royal Rumble winner will not win the title holder. It's getting to be like the Money in the Bank winner, right? This is supposed to be the time you catapult somebody into that stardom. That's why they went into the Royal Rumble. That's why Rhea Ripley has her title shot. That's why we believe Rhea Ripley is going to be that title holder. Don't do this to Cody Rhodes. Don't do this to the WWE, and don't do this to their fans, because it is time. It has never. If you don't do it now, well, then when are you going to do it? Who's going to come in and do it? Because if Cody Rhodes loses to Roman Reigns, it's over for me. I don't believe that he's going to do it. He wins the title for me, then I can see guys like Finn Balor and Edge and all these guys like Seth Rollins coming into the picture and really winning and really making it a credible thing. Roman Reigns is beating everybody. You either make it where he wins and he's Bruno Sammartino and he retires a champion and just walks away and says, I won too many times, I'm leaving. Or you give it up right now and you start the era right now, and because I don't care what anybody says, no one's doing 950, okay, 1,000, whatever. It doesn't matter. He's had his time. It's time to move on. It's time to put some new blood in there, no pun intended, and get this going and culminate the story, because there are so many other stories you could do with with Cody Rhodes, especially with a guy like AJ Styles possibly coming back. Who wouldn't want to see AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes for a title? Who wouldn't want to see, Seth Rollins against Cody? Like, there are many guys in here that you can build up that with Roman Reigns, it's going to be like, yeah, okay, you already beat these guys. So, and I don't think it's the greatest title reign of all time. I think it's great because of the time length in it. Let's look at his bouts. Every one of his fights, he's had somebody help him in, or he's been a part of a fatal three-way, right? So when I look at a title reign, I look at a guy that doesn't always have to lie, cheat, and steal to win. I look at a guy that can, like, that's why Brock Lesnar is such a badass, because he's a soul fucking guy. There's no bloodline to help him out. Paul Heyman barely does anything.
Can I say something real fast, Adam?
Go ahead.
I, as a casual watching, I would like to agree with you on that. I think they can build it around the guy who stopped him from reaching 1,000 days.
Right.
You know, when you build up a storyline, and obviously you guys are all fans of Cody Rhodes. We all know what he did at AEW, on how he helped build that. And now to come back and to remove him from even reaching the 1,000 days, that's how you build up that story. So when Cody Rhodes comes out on Monday, he can brag about how, or if they want to so and so go for that 1,000 days, Cody can brag about how he stopped him from reaching that 1,000 days. And if they want to give Roman his rematch, and then it goes on to what Jeff was saying, and then you go and give him his rematch on SummerSlam, and then he solidifies it. He beats him again at SummerSlam, so he solidifies that he's the real deal. And then Roman goes on his long vacation. But
yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think it's just, to me, it's a story that has run its course. It is time to move on, because then what was going to happen? If you oversaturate with the bloodline winning, it becomes like when Ric Flair was champion. It becomes when, like, Triple H was champion. It becomes when John Cena is champion. We're sitting here complaining about freaking Charlotte Flair. You know what I'm saying? It's like at some point you just want to see some new blood in there, and this is the time. You didn't bring this guy back to have him come in number 30 in the Rumble, to then go headline WrestleMania, to then say, I'm sorry, I'm taking this title away for another 50 days for Roman Reigns. At that point, why even do that? You could have just had him fuck the title over, or have him get involved in the match, and then you could have a backlash match and have him lost there. There's so many other ways you could have written Cody Rhodes into that scenario, where now, to me, it's inevitable. We already know it's coming. He has to win this title. Otherwise, to me, he loses all credibility with the fans, and this comeback will be a waste.
Now, we know it's WrestleMania 39, and we ran down the entire card. Are you guys expecting any surprises? I mean, there's been a lot of rumors about potential surprises that might be on the show, some twists, turns, some returns that might be on the horizon. Maybe some guests that we did not expect to be there. You could see Matt Riddle come back. You can see AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura. There's even Randy Orton that could be back. I mean, do you guys expecting any something you did not expect? Or some people that could be back? Or you think they're saving them for the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania?
I think it'll be a tiered approach. I think there'll be some pops. This is WrestleMania Hollywood. They want to make this big because they don't want to make it too big, because WrestleMania 40 is going to be an enormous show, right? Yeah. 40 years, big show. But this is Hollywood. They've been building it up. You have 2 days of content. Let's be honest. Wrestling has a lot of dead time in between. So I expect to see who I don't know. I expect it because that's what WWE has done my entire career watching it. There's always the reason why I've always watched WrestleManias, especially WrestleManias, was, hey, guess what? Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 9, I think it was, at Little Caesars Palace in Atlantic City, comes in and wins the title after Bret Hart, loses the title to Yokozuna. Comes in and slams him. Those type of surprises. That's what captivates you at WrestleMania. The number could be wrong. So check me if I thought it was WrestleMania. It might not be WrestleMania. I think it was WrestleMania 9. Where, and epic things happen. So for me, it's got to happen on the grandest stage of them all. There's always got to be a surprise. There's always going to be something that's going to keep you on the edge of your seat, or, hey, make you laugh.
I think we're going to get that. And I think that LA Knight is going to be on the show. I think they're saving something because there is one match short on the Night 2 side. And I think LA Knight is going to be on that show. And I could easily see either it's a segment or maybe you get an impromptu match. I think we're getting at least one of, if not both, of The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin. I really do believe that we're getting one or both of those guys on that show, because I think that they're going to be trying to get the big time star power on that show. And if you're going to have LA Knight out there with his personality, don't you want to have somebody out there that can go toe-to-toe with him on the mic? And who else would fit so good in a promo battle with LA Knight than Austin or The Rock? Can you imagine that back and forth and how over it would get LA Knight to go toe-to-toe with one of those two? I think you're definitely going to get something like that. And I think that would be such a great thing for somebody like LA Knight, just to give him that WrestleMania moment, just to be in the ring with one of those two legends. So I could see something like that, especially. And I could easily see Randy Orton making his return to the WWE, which I would be more than ecstatic. I miss Randy Orton so much.
Randy. Yeah, I don't think from things I'm hearing, I don't think Randy Orton's still not even close to making a return to the ring. But I expect a little bit. It's WrestleMania, so you expect something that they catch us off guard that we don't know about, something that's not coming. If it's going to be something like The Rock or Stone Cold making an appearance, I will give WWE their props for keeping this on the low, because as of right now, it's just no indication of that happening. But usually something happens. I mean, that year when the Hardys came back, that was a huge pop. That was something that was unexpected. That was one of the greatest pops of all time in WrestleMania right there. Those guys, when their music hit, it was just like, whoa, shocking. Nobody knew. They had them.
70,000 people going delete.
Nobody had a clue. So, that would be, you all look forward to something cool. I think NXT Stand and Deliver is going to have a little bit to do with surprises we might be looking forward to from WrestleMania and Raw as well. Usually we get some call-ups. I think the loser of the championship match at Stand and Deliver is definitely getting called up, because I just feel like there's nothing more for him to prove on NXT. Whether it's Carmelo, and I think that's going to be Braun Breaker. I think Carmelo Hayes gets that title off of Braun Breaker on Saturday afternoon at NXT Stand and Deliver, and he goes on to, and they'll send Braun Breaker up to the main roster. I just don't. I see no more real purpose for Braun Breaker on NXT roster. I feel like it's time to bring him up to the main roster and hopefully don't ruin him. But yes, that's a we'll see how that goes. But I just think that's always usually what happens. You get a couple call-ups, and then you got to start just forming some new storylines and getting ready, getting moving through this year and build up to all the next big shows, SummerSlam and Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, all those other next big shows you got coming down the line, man. Start really getting some strong build for some of that stuff going forward. But we'll see, man. It's hard to indicate, because right now, usually you kind of know about things that are going to happen and you haven't really heard much. So if you got some good surprises coming, they're doing a good job keeping them under wraps. So we'll see.
I'm worried about Braun Breaker if he gets called up to the main roster, because I'm afraid they're going to shoot this kid up to the moon, and they're going to book him like they did with Roman Reigns when he got called up, and like they did with John Cena. They're going to book this kid so damn strong, and it's going to make the crowd hate him. They got to try to give him a slow burn, make people get behind somebody like Braun Breaker, and then eventually you get this kid, when he's ready, get him into the World Championship. That's the one thing I worry about Braun, because of Vince McMahon, and that's the biggest key right here. Vince McMahon's lurking in the back, and he apparently officially today became a WWE employee again. Vince McMahon is going to have his dirty little fingers in this creative, and how long until Vince gets back in charge fully of creative. And Vince McMahon sees somebody like Braun Breaker, and he's like, that's the next guy. He's the next world champion. And he's going to shoot him all the way up to the moon so quickly, and it's going to make people hate this dude. So when it comes to storylines and everything with WWE after WrestleMania 39, to me, it's not even about the wrestlers in the ring. It's about what's going to be happening creative. How much is Triple H really going to have a control of this roster going into post-WrestleMania 39 plans? Because if he has full control, then we all should feel confident that there's going to be some good storylines on the horizon. But if he doesn't, and Vince McMahon continues to dip his hands, stir further and further in that cookie jar, and more Vince-like things happen on Raw and SmackDown, I'd be genuinely worried, and especially with potential cuts that could be on the horizon too, with budget cuts. So that's the most intriguing thing to me. I don't know how you guys feel, but that's the most intriguing thing to me after WrestleMania 39 is who really is going to have the most control in terms of creative to build up these characters and these future storylines going into WWE after WrestleMania 39 concludes.
Yeah, man, I don't want any Vince McMahon anywhere near the card. You just scared me right there with that little nugget about him coming back. It's just like, I understand why he doesn't, but he doesn't understand that his time has come. In the 80s and 90s, yeah, you had the Attitude Era. You were part of the Attitude Era. You were the reason we loved the Attitude Era, right? But you now got to get your hands off it and stop relying so much on guys like Roman Reigns and let guys like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, let the talent carry you. Because if you listen to because here's the thing, Vince, AEW is a lot better right now than WCW was. They know how to book their shows. They're selling out buildings. They have 2 shows a night. They have great characters on that show. And they're building a cult following as we speak. If you do the things that you've done leading up to this, because I think they brought a lot of fans back with this recent Triple H edition of the storylines. I think they did bring a lot of fans back. If they go out and chop that and just say, we're going to screw you, we're going to put the title on this guy, we're going to bring Goldberg, the geriatric, back, have him win a title, you're going to lose your fan base. And for me, this is why I'm so adamant about Cody winning, because he's going to lose my respect. I'm not going to tune into Raw the same way as I do if Cody loses the title.
I didn't want to think about
Goldberg. Well, it comes with evolution, man. Vince McMahon has to evolve as an owner. You have to understand that this ain't the 80s. You don't have to look like a fucking walking steroid to be the champion. You know what I mean? You got to understand you have a lot of talent in that roster, and some of them, quite frankly, are guys that barely weigh 200 pounds. But hey, it is what it is. They still can hold their own in the ring. They can still get down with the best of them. And you got to give these guys all the opportunities.
Tell a good story, you can make anybody
start giving. Yeah, you got to give these guys the rightful opportunities, man. You just feel, like I said, he has that mentality that unless you look like some fucking bodybuilder, some old classic bodybuilder look or something like that, you shouldn't be the champion. That's Vince McMahon's whole mentality, and he has to get out of that, man. It's right now he needs to just be the owner, sign the checks, let other people who have better insight actually do the booking, the creative, run the company. Take your hands out of the cookie jar, man. It's like we talk about with the Giants and John Mara. Take your hands out the cookie jar. You hire employees to do a job, let them do the job, man.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Let them do the damn job.
The reason why it's somewhat wishful thinking, because think about what happened to Vince McMahon back in the summer of last year. He pretty much, we all know, he didn't retire. He was forced out of WWE. What do you think Vince McMahon is thinking right now? He probably has been thinking this whole time, and I know DJ has said this, and others have said it. Vince McMahon is thinking about all those people that gave him bad advice and told him to leave when he shouldn't have done it. He is thinking about getting back at all those people that told him to go. And look at all the events that have happened since. Stephanie McMahon quit when Vince McMahon came back into power. The board of directors were blown up. Creative. Vince McMahon was supposed to visit John Cena, and he's sitting in Gorilla with this on his head next to Triple H for creative. Omos is on the damn WrestleMania card. Bray Wyatt has become Muscle Man Bray again. The Maximum Male Models are back on the show. Where was this crap when Triple H was in charge? It was gone. There was none of this. We were getting great wrestling, compelling storylines, everything that got us excited. And I'm scared, and I have to say it, that Vince McMahon is thinking about all those people that told him to leave, and he's thinking that he was wronged in his warped mind, and he's going to do anything he can to get back all that power that he lost. And he's going to do whatever he can to get that power back. And we all know about the WWE sale that has been being talked about, and about these companies interested in buying it. I don't believe anything that anybody says until Vince McMahon says, and he literally means it, he gets the hell out of WWE, period. Stephanie comes back, and we get the real new world of the WWE going forward, no matter who buys this company. But right now, as long as Vince McMahon is still hovering around, and the fact that he's back as an employee and he's still the head of the damn company, and I don't believe a damn thing about him saying he's going to leave if there's a sale that's going to happen. BS, my ass, no way that's going to happen. I think Vince is still somewhat in charge of creative. And just by looking at some of the things that's happened on this card, you'd be a fool if you didn't believe that Vince is not somewhat still having his way when it comes to this wrestling card. And that's what makes me nervous.
Well. I think we are finally about time to wrap this thing up, man. It's been a great stream. Everybody, you guys have any final thoughts? Anything before we wrap this thing up? Go around the panel.
I just want to say I may be a casual fan, but I'm definitely going to be watching this card and can't wait to break it down with you guys on the next Premium Takes episode.
I think that this is going to be one of the best WrestleMania cards we're going to be seeing in terms of in-ring in a long time. There's not really a whole lot of bad matches on this card, except for maybe like 2 or 3. I think this is going to be a tremendous show overall in terms of in-ring ability, because we said the same thing about AEW Revolution when that card was being built up. There was not a lot of great build besides MJF and Bryan Danielson, and that pay-per-view was so damn good when you had all those people wrestle in the ring. And I believe the same thing with WrestleMania 39. I think when it's all said and done, when we get to Sunday, late Sunday night, we'll be talking about WrestleMania 39 as one of the best WrestleManias in a very long time.
I have to agree with you, Jeff. I think it's going to be a fun show. I think after reviewing all these matches, there's going to be some memorable ones. And what we're going to need to happen is make these memorable so we can forget about Omos and Brock Lesnar, so that when we put this on 10 years from now, and we're watching WWE Network and we're going through the 49 wrestlings and we stop at 39 and we remember, oh my God, I remember that Hell in a Cell match. I can't believe that guy did this, and that's what I want. That's what I want this WrestleMania to be. It's going to be so good that you're like, you can't wait to, in a few years, rewatch it just to remember what happened,
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think this is going to be an exciting weekend, man, in WWE wrestling. As a fan, as a WWE fan, I think starting with Stand and Deliver tomorrow afternoon, you got a couple of really great matches, potentially bangers on that card. You got, and then just the 2 nights of WrestleMania. There's some matches that just really, really stand out as absolute future, probably just all-time great matches, man. This Hell in a Cell, the Hell in a Cell with Finn Balor and Edge, the triple threat with Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre, the damn tag team title match with Zayn and Owens and against the Usos. There's some really, really, really big matches on this card, man. This is going to be a wrestle. We're definitely going to be talking about this WrestleMania card for years to come, I believe. As long as they execute everything the right way, no too much, nothing janky, nothing crazy going on. I think we're in for a treat this weekend, man, as wrestling fans. So hope everybody enjoys it, man. And it's been a great stream. It's been fun chopping it up here with my guys, man. Zion Zenith, Adam Costas, NYG Jeffy T, and of course, yours truly, Mac the Giants fan. This has been a special late night edition of the Premium Takes Podcast, WrestleMania 39 special. This is the Premium Takes Podcast. We are the 4 Horsemen.